Wow, what an ending to the game. What an ending to the game. Isaiah Likely, what have we been saying on this channel? Isaiah Likely, Dallas Goedert, Luke Musgrave, Ben Sinnott, the 4 tight ends you need to go get if you want to have that breakout player. That's what we do here. It's what we do best. Likely season, baby. Likely looking like a monster. Xavier Worthy season. Ladies and gentlemen, Xavier Worthy season is here to stay. Rashee Rice season is here to stay. Mahomes, not the best game statistically, but they win. He's connecting with his wide receivers. He had a lot of drops that weren't necessarily all his fault. He caught a pass. He salvaged with a touchdown. Could have been a lot worse for Patrick Mahomes. Had a long run called back. We had a good game here, but we also have panic. Major panic on the Baltimore Raven front. We're talking about whether you should be not only panicking, but running away from this Baltimore Raven offense, except for our boy Xavier Likely, who came in absolutely strong in this game, looking like an absolute monster. The Fantasy Football Show reaction show, 27-20, KC Chiefs winning the game show. On the line, Xavier Likely, his toe was on the line show, begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Wanted. The top most wanted outlaws. These outlaws are on the run. Wanted.
Receiver from the combine.
He can't catch. Many say he won't make it at the next level.
Enough. Watch me. I must go back and make it right.
Xavier Worthy. He can't catch. Just fast. He won't make
it. Catch this. Great catch. Wow, nice catch. He's not overrated catching the ball.
He can really catch.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45-plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
Guys, we're here to do the recap of this game. And there's so much to unpack here. So much to react to. 726 of you in here, only 68 thumbs up. Let's wipe our feet and do our jobs, okay? We're here to discuss not only panic chamber topics of Lamar, Henry, Andrews, all of which I can spoil it right now and tell you we're going to close the door on all of them, okay? So let me file them on in here. We'll talk about them. I'll give you my reasoning and my rationale, but they're all going in the panic chamber, and we will be closing the door when we discuss it.
You are in the panic chamber.
But let's first relish in some glory that is this absolute chief marvel of an offense. And talk about how Worthy's going to the moon. Mahomes had a mediocre day. He had some drops. His receivers weren't exactly pulling in all the passes. He made a couple mistakes. He also had a big, long run called back that would have easily given him another 4 or so points. But looking at this game log, Pacheco 15 totes for 45 and a touch. The volume is a little bit of a concern. or the injury risk is more of a concern for Pacheco. He went out of the game, went to the sideline, threw up, came back in, looked like he was maybe cramping. It might be nothing. Carson Steele, only 2 carries. And P. Ryan, although P. Ryan was involved in the game a little bit, he had the 1 catch for 10 yards. He only had 2 targets. So Pacheco's volume seems locked down, but is it going to be enough? I don't know if this is somebody that we potentially look like we did with Walker mid-season, like, hey, is he a trade candidate? Because if he gets injured, I don't know that the way he runs, if he's going to stay healthy all year. But we love Pacheco. I love Pacheco. He's on the Moon Man list for a reason. We love Pacheco, but there is concern. We almost thought Carson Steele season was about to start when he went to the sideline. Rashee Rice, 7 receptions for $103. Rashee Rice is here to mother freaking stay. Okay, there are players, ladies and gentlemen, there are players that are potentially 1-week wonders. I see a couple of you in here panicking like crazy, saying, "No, it's right. You can't expect them to do this every week. You can't expect Worthy." What was that comment? 2 receptions. Where was it? I saw you. I know. I'm coming for it. I can find it. I think it was Mark. Mark, I'm sorry to do this to you, but Mark, how many leagues do you not own Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy in? Because he says 2 receptions for Worthy. Not going to happen every week. Mark, I'm sorry you didn't get to relish and draft, and you didn't listen to me and draft Xavier Worthy in a lot of leagues, but it is what it is. A lot of negativity is going to come in the direction of these Chief players, and I think a lot of people are going to come for Mahomes. Like, oh, Mahomes didn't do. Mahomes did fine. Did he have the biggest game in the world? No, he didn't. He did well. And you take into account the game flow and everything that happened. The tip pass was why it was intercepted. Let's get real for a second. The guy was about to have 40-yard rushing amount of points put on the board here and potentially another touchdown had that not been called back. It is what it is. But this guy, Rashee Rice, comes out and has a 7-103 game with no touchdowns. Maybe that comes next week, but his counterpart, the man, the myth, the legend, the man known as Xavier Worthy, one of the fastest, if not the fastest guy in the NFL, comes swinging into week 1 with a, as you can see in the rushing category, 1 rush for 21 yards and a touchdown, 21-yard rush. And then down here, looky here, reindeer, 2 receptions for 47 yards, 23.5 a pop, and a tutty. Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are going to, shall I say, Saturn?
To Saturn.
I would say Mars.
To Mars.
Saturn seems more appropriate. And this man, Isaiah Mother freaking Likely. What did your boy tell you about Mark Andrews? What did your boy tell you about who potentially could be the best 4 tight ends to go get in fantasy football 2024? Likely. Ben Sinnott for later. He might not pop right away. This could be Kincaid all over again. Smitty, Kincaid isn't doing anything, Smitty. Should I cut Kincaid already? I heard it all last year. All last year. Smitty, you said Jordan Love was going to win leagues. Should I cut him? I'm going to cut him, Smitty. I'm going to pick up Nathan Peterman, and I'm never following you again. I heard that over and over and over. Jordan Love took some time. Jordan Love was on the waiver wire for 4 or 5 straight waiver wire shows because everyone kept cutting him and they ran away and abandoned him. You went and got ice and you never came back. Not on my watch. And Isaiah Likely, we knew this guy was going to be one of the 4 tight ends. I sidetracked myself. Isaiah Likely, Dallas Goedert, Ben Sinnott, and Luke Musgrave. Not all 4 were going to land. Not all 4 will land. But of one of those 4 lies a giant, a rags to riches sleeping top 10 tight end. And I give you Isaiah Mother freaking Likely. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
I think on that note, we're flying the drone, ladies and gentlemen. It's Isaiah Likely season. It's drone season. Let me give you the Isaiah Likely flight plan. Here it is. I give it to you. The man, the myth, the legend. Where's my controller when I need it? Where's my controller? Here it is. I give you Isaiah Likely.
Let him cook.
We're okay. Do you see that block? You see that block? I want to see the replay of that. Let's see the replay of that. I absolutely... Boom! 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 Let him cook!
Let him cook.
No one's holding us back tonight. Nobody. Not the drone. Nobody. I smacked that thing down like a Lamar Jackson ill attempt touchdown pass. Lamar, can we talk about Lamar for a second? Likely season in full effect. We give you four tight ends. I can't be perfect. I don't know if the other three are going to land, but likely season, Goddard season, Sinnott season, and Musgrave season are all potentially here for the taking. The question is, did you invest? Do you own this beautiful man named Isaiah Likely on screen? Did he ball out for you to the tune of, what did he have? Let's take a look at this man. Looky here, reindeer. 9 receptions for 111. 111 yards and a touchdown, a long of 49, and almost had the game-winning touchdown. This guy would have had about $120 on 10 catches for 2 touchdowns, single-handedly. In my battle royales, I'm tempted to go look at my battle royales right now on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. You guys can also do this on Underdog. Smash the link that's in the live chat, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $1,000, 50%. So if you do a $100 deposit, they'll give you $50. If you do $1,000, they'll give you $500. You do a $2,000, they'll give you $1,000. The minimum, I repeat, is only $10. So they'll give you $5 if you do that, but go check it out. I'm over on Underdog right now looking at my live best ball situation, and we've got some good things pending, but I want to see my battle royales. Where are my battle royales? Is that under active? It might be under live daily, live best ball. I'll go look in a second, but man, I have likely in so many leagues. Appreciate you all in here. Now let's talk about the positives. If anybody doesn't understand what time it is, it's time to buy Mahomes on the low. If you missed out on Mahomes, this is the time to strike. We have 1,142 of you in here. 1,142 of you in here. Please, if you listen to anything I say tonight, it's go buy Mahomes. It's go buy Mahomes right now, because you saw what he's capable of doing. You saw what his offense is capable of doing. You saw this man, Rashee Rice, look like a monster without catching a touchdown pass. You saw his receiver, Xavier Worthy, without any skill set yet. He's still developing, run for a touchdown, catch a touchdown, have a total of 47 yards receiving and 21 rushing. You saw Mahomes have potential to be a 3 touchdown per game guy. It's coming. It's coming for everybody. And this is arguably one of his toughest matchups of the year, as I think it was Sick Nasty or Blackbeard or Travis said that in the chat group. This is one of the toughest matchups of the year. And Mahomes won. The Chiefs won. Yes, it was a very close call. Lamar Jackson, if he was a more accurate passer, this would have been over. Zay Flowers was wide open in the end zone. And this leads us to, after I say, go get Mahomes, go get Mahomes, go get Mahomes, go get Mahomes. I don't think you get Rashee Rice or Worthy. Maybe buy low on Kelsey in certain scenarios. We'll talk about Kelsey in a minute. He might not be the same player, but Worthy and Rice will pick up the slack. That's the positives. Likely positive. Hill, we got to pick up Justice Hill. He'll be on the waiver wire show. This was the preemptive waiver wire show. Let me show you right now. Preemptive waiver wire. Well, looky here. Who's number 1 on the preemptive waiver wire show? What show told you to go get Isaiah Likely before week 1 kicked off? I wonder who that was. Was that maybe your boy Smitty? Was it me that told you Isaiah Likely was your preemptive week 1 waiver wire tight end? Look at this thing. I haven't touched the waiver wire board since the waiver wire show. I left it there for perfection. to take a screenshot of it. Look at this board. These league winners that have been sitting out in a majority of leagues. Isaiah Likely crushes your fantasy league, and it was sitting right in front of your face. Musgrave, Sinnott, trying to save lives. Trying to save lives. You know who's going to be on this running back list very soon? His name's going to be Justice Hill. And that's on me. That's on me for not squeezing him into this waiver wire show. I'm not touching this because this is the preemptive one. I'm going to save this board. We'll create a new one, and you're going to see Likely at the top of it, but you're also going to see Justice Hill over here because we're in panic chamber mode, ladies and gentlemen. Panic chamber. Panic chamber.
You are entering the panic chamber, brought to you by theattic.shop. Vintage movie tees and hoodies. Are you a panicked Peter? Let's find out. You are entering the panic chamber. Chamber.
You know, it's interesting, and then we got guys like this that come in. Where's this comment at? Where's this comment at? This guy's comment is hilarious. What is his name? I don't know. He says, "I told you about Worthy. I called Worthy. You didn't call Worthy. We told you. We told you. Go get me a coffee, Thomas. Go get me a coffee, Thomas." Okay, here we are. We're sitting here, unfortunately, in a territory of concern and risk and worried Williams are going to be everywhere. Everywhere you look, you'll see a worried William. And as you should. Because let me tell you something. If you think this Ravens team is walking into the season in good fashion, preparedness, depth, injury-free trajectory, you got another thing coming. Because Lamar Jackson's scrambling for his life. And Lamar got it done tonight. How did he get it done? Through grunt, pure, absolute grit type effort. Just grunting his way through this thing. 16 totes for 122. Let's give Lamar Jackson a standing ovation because he was absolutely the only thing this offense had going for majority of the time. The offensive line was putrid. So before we rip on Lamar, and not as a person, not as really a player, but as a fantasy asset in 2024, let's give him a standing ovation. Lamar Jackson deserves his quick flowers because he ran for 122 yards, 7.6 a tote. And so we're sitting here looking at, a guy that I think people are going to say this is going to be a great season for Lamar. He's going to cook, he's going to run, he's going to be absolutely fantastic all year. The problem with that logic is this offensive line is one of the worst in the National Football League, which is why Lamar's running for his life, which is why Derrick Henry did not look good at all in this game, which is why Derrick Henry, he did trip and fall into the end zone, but he only toted the rock 13 times. Lamar carried it 16. He only toted the rock 13 times for 46 yards, 3.5 a pop. He fell into the end zone. Derrick Henry had 2 targets at the very bottom of this screen. 2 targets at the very bottom. You can see it. 0 yards, 0 receptions. Derrick Henry's a one-dimensional player trapped in an offense where the number one running back is the quarterback. Trapped in an offense where the quarterback is going to get hurt at some point between now and probably mid-season. A quarterback in Lamar Jackson who dropped 10 more pounds after dropping 10 or 15 or 20 pounds last offseason came in. Maybe that was his secret sauce, being right where he's weighing right now. Possibly it is the right amount of weight for him to be at or walking into the end of the last offseason. And then he drops 10 more. And then he got sick and probably dropped even more. I venture to say he never gained the full amount of weight back to where he was down 10 pounds. He goes out there and he runs more than he's ever run before. And he's getting hit left and right with less padding on his body. You can say he's quicker, no one's going to catch him. That doesn't fly. We just saw what happened. That doesn't compute. Lamar's getting pounded into the ground, and his offensive line is so bad that you've got Munkin and this entire offense scheming to get Lamar Jackson out of the pocket, throwing on the run, scrambling, which means the offensive line, they're scared to death that this offensive line can't block for them. They're young, they're inexperienced, they lost 3 guys on the offensive line, They're probably the worst offensive line in the league, in my opinion, or at least bottom 5. Some say they're bottom 5 to 10. I say they're one of the worst. And the problem you had, and I went on my live Patreon live stream audio live stream. So if you haven't got on the Patreon, make sure you get on the Patreon. It is an absolute blast. We go live in there. I do an audio live stream. It's basically a one-way conversation, and you guys Q&A session, rapid fire texting while you listen to me. It's like Twitter Spaces on Patreon. So if you join my Patreon right here, it's $10 a month only. You can cancel anytime. Do it for 1 month for $10. Join the Patreon right here. And this is the best place to be during games, during Thursday game, during Friday games, during Sunday games, during Monday games. I'll be jumping in and out on a live audio session with a chat going in the Patreon. And I said in there at halftime, and tell me if you were in the room when I said it, watch the Ravens offensive line crumble and have lots of penalties. They're not going to be able to keep up. Lamar extending plays tires them out, and they're not going to know what to do, and they're going to have to hold in order to keep Lamar Jackson safe. What happened? Penalties. They looked awful. They looked putrid. They can't run the ball up the gut. Not only that, Derrick Henry looks very slow. The running back in this offense is now going to be Hill, who's going to receive the ball, be the PPR guy. Lamar's scrambling around. They're going to do screen plays with Hill. Justice Hill is probably the running back one. I'm not saying Derrick Henry can't still fall into 10 touchdowns on the year with 800 or 900 yards rushing, but Derrick Henry is a huge panic. Lamar Jackson, if he stays healthy by mid-season, I'll be shocked because he's scrambling more than ever, running for his life. Bad offensive line, scrambling around, losing even more weight, getting leveled left and right. Playing from behind, trying to do what you can, putting the team on your back that causes and leads to injury, puts your body in a tired state. When you're tired, your legs buckle. When you're tired, you take different hits. When you're tired, you maybe trip and tear a ligament. There's so many reasons why you don't want to be exhausted while getting hit, while scrambling and wearing your body down. Ravens look cooked. They almost won this game, and that's on the back of Lamar Jackson, but also Lamar lost the game. He had a wide open Zay Flowers. This is a total panic situation across the board. And this man here, Mark Andrews, I told you not to draft him. I told you to get Isaiah Likely. And I also said to trade this guy away if you did draft him. I don't know that there's an opportunity or a market to trade Andrews away. And I said at the beginning of the live stream before the game started, if he gets that touchdown, it has any remnants of his old self at all, you sell off of it. You sell off Henry. If Henry looks good at all, you sell it. If Lamar looks good, you sell it. If Andrews looks good, you sell it. You might be able to sell Derrick Henry off the touchdown. I don't know. You might be able to buy low on somebody while selling a little bit low. That might work. That might be your way out of this. Maybe you trade Derrick Henry right now. I know it can't go through until next week, but you can make those kind of trades in fantasy. Maybe you're trading Derrick Henry right now for potentially a Kenneth Walker before Walker does anything. Throw something in. This guy Andrews, he just got his job taken by Isaiah Likely. Now, the only thing that concerns me about Likely is this offensive line is so bad, they need Likely to block more than they want him to block. So this is complete panic chamber material, except for Isaiah Likely, who's going to the mother freaking Mars.
To Mars.
Aside from that, aside from some small shares of Justice Hill, who I don't think will be consistent, but he seems to be the PPR guy, this entire Ravens team, Lamar, Henry, Andrews, even Flowers to a degree, because he probably won't be consistent. When's the last time this guy was able to be fed properly? He had a really, really good game, some PI calls, but he ended up with 6 receptions for 37 yards on probably one of his better games we've seen in a while. Lamar does not create top 25 wide receivers. Daniel Jones does not create top 25 wide receivers. It just doesn't happen. And you throw Derrick Henry in the mix, they want to run more. You throw a healthy, mediocre Andrews back in the mix, Likely explodes now, becomes clearly Lamar's favorite target. I think Flowers is not set up for tons of volume, and I would sell Flowers as well. This is an entire panic state across the board for this team, minus Isaiah Likely. You were all in the panic chamber, Baltimore.
You are in the panic chamber.
Is there someone else we need to throw in the panic chamber? Is his name might go by the name Travis Kelce, if I can even find Kelce. I don't think I have Kelce's graphics, so I'm just going to type Kelce on here. He got his wife or girlfriend or whatever got enough screen time in this game. I don't think I'll put his mug on the screen. I don't think Kelce deserves to have his face on the screen. We'll just put this text in here. Does Kelce belong in the panic chamber? I think he does. I think he does. I think that you drafted him high enough. It's scary owning him. I'd rather have Rashee Rice or Worthy straight up. In any league where I did take Kelce at the 2-3 turn in a best ball draft and tried to stack Mahomes, Kelce, and then get Worthy Rice later, I honestly, once we got deeper into August, you couldn't do that anymore. And you had to decide, do you take Rice? Do you take Kelce? And I did take Rice in a lot of those leagues, but anyone I took Kelce in at all, I'm regretting that. I'm living in regret over believing that he could in best ball be worth this. Now, I wouldn't go sell him for a ham sandwich, and not to sound hypocritical, but if his value drops so low, there'll be an opportunity to jump back in and buy him on the low. But keep very much in mind that is a very, very risky proposition if his value doesn't drop far enough. Meaning, think about Eckler last year. I told every single one of you not to draft Austin Eckler last year. He's so great. He's a top 5 running back. He'll be fine. He takes more receptions than runs, and he'll be healthy. Stay away from Eckler. He busted on everybody. But I will admit, there was a time during week 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there, I came in and I said, maybe there's an opportunity to buy Cellar Dweller cheap. You're not costing yourself anything. You're just going to buy Eckler in case he bounces back, and he didn't. It wasn't any big loss because it was a buy low opportunity. But make sure that if you're going to go after Kelce right now, which there's an opportunity for it, you're buying him at a cost that is so valuable if he blows up, and not risky to you if he doesn't do well. So Kelce's also in the panic chamber. And by the way, if you're watching the panic chamber for the first time on this channel, this segment, just because you're in the panic chamber does not mean we actually don't love it. Sometimes we love that a Kyron Williams is in everybody's panic chamber because we'll buy him, we'll draft him. We relish in that the league or the world is panicking on said players. So panic chamber isn't always a bad thing in our mind. With the case of everybody in this box right now, Kelce a little less, but everybody in here, Lamar, Henry, Andrews, and Kelce, panic chamber, closing the doors, very much panic time. Let's knock it. Let's knock it down.
You are in the panic chamber.
Wow, what an evening! What an evening of football! What an evening of football! We've got the West Wild Wild West theme kicked in full gear. And we will continue to drop these monsters, the most wanted outlaws.
Wanted.
These are show favorites, guys that will continue to shine and excel at their cost of entry. It's not all about picking the number one player. Like, oh, let's put Tyreek Hill on here. It's obvious he's going to be amazing. These are values, and we'll continue to attack a lot of the show in that fashion. We're all about values here on the channel. And we've got a couple super chats, 2 $20 haulers, immediate attention coming your way from Wave 3. Appreciate you enduring my rant. Corey dropping a $20 hauler as well. $20 haulers get immediate attention. Appreciate every...
You are entering the panic chamber.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Fire the hole! Sorry about the wrong button there. $20 hauler. So good to be back, Smitty. Appreciate you. I drafted Andrews in the 5th, and then I grabbed Likely on waivers as insurance. Do I really bench Andrews next week for Likely? Absolutely. You have to at this point. Great job doing that. Maybe you trade Andrews alone away. No one's going to buy him 1-for-1, but he will be an interesting 2-for-1. Hey, I'll give you Andrews, and I'll give you, let's call it Rashad White, 2 panic players for your Walker, for your maybe Jacobs. Like, that would be good. Wave 3, appreciate you with the $20 holler. Mars, shot for you, pal. Appreciate you. This one right here is a 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end flex. Goff, Brees, Jacobs, Ford, Dowdle. Trade Dowdle and Goff for a slight quarterback upgrade. Kyler, etc. JD5 even maybe. I'm getting rid of that. Wide receivers, DJ Moore. Don't like DJ Moore. He's a total sell for me. Devontae Smith, Rashee Rice to the moon. Dell, love it. Godwin, DJ Moore, and Dowdle. Package those players together to try and get a better one player, or use 1 or 2 of them to get a better player and then upgrade Goff. You definitely need to do that. Likely on as the other tight end. As far as like Fab Drop, we'll get to it during the waiver wire show. I don't want to, give all the special secret sauce out of the waiver wire content coming, but this is the preemptive show. This is not the waiver wire for week 1. This is the preemptive one we posted about a week before the season kicked off, or half a week, or whatever it was. Likely should have been grabbed already because this is the preemptive show. The preemptive waiver wire show likely's there. Do you do a full load drop?
Initiate full load drop.
I don't know. We'll have to have a conversation about that on the waiver show, which will be on Sunday evening after all of the games. Full load drops might be in order for some of these players. Corey coming in with a $20 holler. Corey, appreciate you, my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Corey. Boom.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Corey, appreciate you, my guy. By the way, we need to talk about this a little bit later. We've got definitely a concern of Christian McCaffrey with the calf/Achilles. We'll speak about that a little bit more later in the show. So let me adjust this because I keep going back to the screen. So we might as well put CMC, calf, Achilles, concern. So we'll put that on screen because we will be referencing that throughout the show. And I'm sure we're going to have some phone calls once I open the phone lines, if I open the phone lines, if I can get to the super chat. So good to be back. Corey, appreciate you dropping that again. I know I already reviewed Corey's. This is Wave 3s. I got Wave 3s out of the way. Okay, let's get these super chats slammed out here. Loso traded Rice and I think Jameson Williams for Cup and Worthy. W? Yeah, probably. If that's Jameson Williams, if it's Javonte Williams, I like it even more. But I mean, I love Rice, but Worthy and Cup, you got to take that. That's an awkward trade. I hate that where you're like dividing 2 players you like that. Dynasty sold Andrews for London, kept Likely. Just a smash. Call the veto police on that one. Little, appreciate your $10 holler. $10 hollers get moonshots. So thank you for dropping that. And this chat from Little says McLaurin bench, Spears, Dowdle. So you got McLaurin and Dowdle potentially to trade, for Debo. Absolutely. Debo, don't stop there. Jacobs, I'm looking at your team right here to make sure I'm not. If I read off somebody you have, don't worry about it. Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Dowdle, and McLaurin for Walker's a little bit closer to McLaurin and Dowdle, but Jacobs, you could go after Kyron. You could go after potentially MHJ. Those are all players. I see that you had neighbors, but absolutely go get Debo, smash it, do it live. This $5 hauler from Anthony says teams looking great. Mahomes, Gibbs, Barkley, Rice, Coleman, Achane, Goddard, looking like a solid squad for sure, bro. And don't hesitate to keep Mahomes and expect greatness. He's fine. $5 hauler from Parker says Caleb, Purdy, Kyron, and James Cook. Love the team here. Should I make any moves? Yes, I would try and move James Cook. I would try and upgrade Caleb personally. You need to upgrade James Cook. You need to upgrade Caleb if possible. Jamar Chase is fantastic. Evans, Dell, Coleman, I like it. What do you have to work with, though? That's the only problem, Jamar Chase. If you could trade Jamar Chase and James Cook into, call it like a Jacobs and, I don't know, St. Brown or some sort of 2-for-2. Or you're using maybe just one of, let's say, the problem is you got to wait. Use Pitts, Kyle Pitts maybe. Kyle Pitts and Cook for one slightly better running back. Somebody like Barkley or Kyron or Achane. You got Kyron. That's what I would do, Parker. You got to be careful, though, because you can't give any of those starters up because Damn, boy, you got a thin roster there. Jameson, yeah, I like it less, but I still do it, I think. Jameson Williams. Viral, appreciate you dropping the $5. Should you trade Corum and Jalen for Jalen Wright? You have Mostert. I would probably do that. If you don't have Kyron, I'd rather have Wright. Wright's a league winner, bro. $20 hauler from Styles coming in with a strong one. Give you a Mars shot for that $20 hauler.
2 Mars.
A delayed Mars shot. This super chat says Smitty full PPR. Devontae Adams, Bijan, Monty, Kittle, and Olave. This is it sucks to see teams, and I'm not saying your team has this, but it sucks to see teams that have Andrews. I'm seeing people in the chat talking about having Andrews. It just sucks because the guy like telegraphed that he was not gonna be healthy and do it and bring his old self back to the table. We just knew it wasn't happening. Cheers to another year, Smitty. Hurts and Puka and Devontae Adams, Bijan, Monty, Kittle, and Olave. I like the team. I'm probably trying to get rid of Adams and Swift for one better player. You do that and it turns this team into a really solid move. So Adams and Swift into one better player. Just a slight upgrade. Go to the draft board and see what receivers went slightly above them. Or maybe below them that you just maybe misguided. You were misguided in drafting Adams over. And later you regretted it. Adams is not in a good situation. I want players on amazing teams that are going to score a lot of points. Adams is going to get frustrated like he did last year by midseason. Don't give him away, but go for players that are drafted slightly ahead of him. London, for example, I like over Adams slightly. But I'd go for MHJ. I'd go for, obviously, St. Brown, players of that caliber. Non-PPR, 12-team, Hurts, Tua, Kyron, Kenneth Walker, Ford, Corum, Warren, Tyreek, Rice, Tank Dell. Love the receivers. You got some tradability here with Scary Terry, Roma Dunze, and maybe you're trading. I mean, maybe you wait. But, I love Kenneth Walker. I love Kyron. I love Hurts. I love Ford. I love Tyreek. I love Rice. I love Dell. You know what? I'm going to say wait. Let the week play out. The week should be very generous to you and increase those values. If you tried to trade anybody now, I venture to say you wouldn't get what you should get in return. So let everybody cook this week. And then we come back and buy low. And we might not even need to because Walker might go crazy. You don't even have an upgrade at that point if Walker balls out. Can I get away with this running back room? Bijan, Kyron, absolutely. Yeah, Braylon Allen, Benson, you're fine. You're fine. I like it. Algier will even be good for spot duty if you ever needed him. Wide receiver, Debo, Dell, Pickens, Coleman, McBride, Corum sniped in the 7th. That is a mistake, though, G-Man. You gotta figure out a way to get Corum. But you got to be careful not to just go outright asking him because he's going to hold it over your head. You got to get crafty. I'm old Greg says, do you think I buy low Swift for King Henry? Of course I would take King Henry for Swift. Swift is not somebody that I trust at all this year. But then maybe I look to flip Henry again, or you just ride it until the wheels fall off. Just traded Rashad White and Keenan Allen for Gibbs. I told you you could do this. I told you.
Let him cook.
So tired of hearing people say, I can't get that trade in my league. This man goes out, you offer in waves, you offer in droves. If you make bad trade offers, not so bad that people run away, okay, but bad enough to where later on they're going to wake up regretting it, and it's close enough that in the wrong state of mind they accept it. If you send out 20 of those, you'll only get one acceptance if you're lucky. That is a 10% return, okay, or 5% return. So you're going to get a 5 to 10% return. Every 10 offers, you probably won't get one acceptance. Every 20, you'll get one. That's 5% return. It's a low percentage. That means you've got to get busy. And you can land things like this. You think you can't, but you can. It's a great team. Trade Brown for Jamar Chase. Amon-Ra St. Brown. St. Brown's safer, bro. And honestly, I would let the week play out because St. Brown's got an unbelievable matchup. So let St. Brown ball this week, bring this back, and see if we can buy Chase and something for St. Brown at that point. $20 hauler from Eddie.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate you coming in strong with a super chat. $20 hauler. Eddie, your team looks good. Stroud, you've got Achane, Javonte, Ramondre. Very good squad. AJB, Waddle, Nico, Worthy. Appreciate you coming in here and sharing this with us. And I love seeing Worthy on your team. What a difference a day makes, right? As they say, what a difference a day makes. When a guy like Eddie comes in and says, here's my roster, we look at it, and Worthy sitting there as your 1, 2, 3, 4th wide receiver. I fear you benched him, though, Eddie. I fear you benched him. Your tight ends are Ingram and Likely. I know you started Worthy at the second flex. Thank God. Thank God. God, that was for a moment I was holding my breath. This is a squad, bro. This is a squad. Ramondre, Javonte, and maybe you throw in a player like Waddle. Javonte and Waddle for a Kyron, for a crafty top 5 to 10 running back is what I'm probably trying to do. Why? Because I love Worthy. And I know you got extra flexes, so you don't necessarily need to make that trade, but I would rather balance the scales a little bit in the direction of RB if it were me, or trade 2 of your running backs for 2 of those, Ramondre and who was it again? It was Ramondre and Javonte for 1 running back. You could try that as well. Todd with a $20 hauler. I don't see a message attached to it. But Todd, I appreciate you dropping that. I'll go look to see if you've got something in a minute somewhere if you dropped it after the fact. This one here is from Gonzalez. Ideas to sell Worthy, 3 years with the same man, Smitty. Appreciate you. Ideas to sell Worthy? Yeah, here's idea number 1, and I only have 1. Don't do. I disapprove of that thinking. Don't sell them at all. This is a psychological thing. I have a psych degree for a reason. This is why I went to school, so I could school you in this moment right here, right now. You're scared of Worthy breaking up with you before you break up with him. Don't think like that, pal. Put aside all of the issues from the past relationships that you've had, and look at Worthy with a fresh set of eyes, okay? Don't go running from Worthy because you're afraid he's going to end up failing you. Hold Worthy, take care of Worthy, put Worthy inside your freaking starting lineup. If you were to sell him, you better sell him for the moon, young man. You better go get yourself a Jacobs or higher at RB. You better upgrade your QB tremendously from a cellar dweller bottom 7 to 12 to a top 3 QB. And if not, you're going to hold him because he's an absolute straight up savage. And just like you, Gonzalez, don't think I'm mad at you. I'm just letting you know I'm passionate about my answers. 10-man, full PPR, JD5, Achane, JT, Jettas, Debo, Kincaid, Worthy, got McLaurin and Rachaad White on the bench. Well, I'm trading Rachaad White, and you might want to let this play out for a week and see what JD5 does, but I'd be very tempted to use Rachaad White to get Mahomes right now using JD5. As much as I love JD5, Mahomes is still my number 1 or number 2 quarterback this year. Behind maybe only Josh Allen because he keeps doing it year in and year out. So I'm tempted for that, but I almost want you to just watch JD5 this weekend. Let JD5 gain some value because you have nothing to lose at this point. I wouldn't go in any other direction right now. Let your team, unless you trade McLaurin and Rachaad White for Jacobs, for McLaurin and Rachaad White for a RB, McLaurin and Rachaad White for a potential Cooper Kupp. I'd go after those. My guy. I would definitely go after those. Rashid St. Brown says, Alec, let's go. You own both those guys? You're going nuts. You're going nuts, pal. You're going nuts. 906 in here. Hit the like. Not anymore, bro. We got 1,579 people in here and only 380 thumbs up. So smash that. Thank you, Big Rod. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the 1,500. And there are probably like 500 of you of the 1,500 that are not subscribed yet. I go live whenever news breaks. I go live. If any news breaks at all whatsoever, I go live. That's in addition to my Monday through Friday 8 p.m. show. That's in addition to being live most midnights when we draft and do Battle Royale week. number 1 drafts, week number 2 drafts, week number 3 drafts. So please subscribe if you're new so we can see those numbers pumping up. We got 26,825 subscribers as of this moment. Let's see if we can see a wave of you come in. There's one right there, 826. 26,826. I'll shout that number out when it goes up. Appreciate you. Trade Pollard for Worthy right before kickoff. Traded Pollard for Worthy. Wow, what a monster steal. That's the kind of move that a league might say, hey, we need to review that. We didn't see that one go through. Another subscriber, thank you. We didn't see that go through. maybe we need to veto that trade. In my league, I punted tight end and drafted Fant and Sinnott. I dropped Fant for Likely today. Just didn't start him. Found my guy. You sure did. Hopefully he's healthy. We got 4 more subscribers right there. And we're at 26,830. You guys are all doing good work by hitting that subscribe button. Appreciate you. And not to mention, it's a good thing because you're going to be alerted when we go live. And we go live more than anybody. There's no channel out there going live more than this channel. In my league, you punted. Okay, gotcha. Thanks for Gator for that message. This one's from Fonz. He says, full load drop in effect. Let's go, Fonz. Appreciate you. Waiver wire in full effect. Did I show you the waiver wire? The preemptive waiver wire show? Does anybody maybe missed this segment? Yeah, Likely. Top right corner. Take it in. Take it in. This was preemptive. This is before week 1. This is how we roll. No one does waiver wire like we do either. Nobody does waiver wire like we do. No one goes live when news breaks like we do. And no one goes live, period, as much as we do. Who else has a show, 3 or 4 hour show every single day at 8 p.m.? Every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. The answer is nobody. 834, 26,835. You guys are keeping the subscribers just flowing in. I appreciate it. It's like wine. Just keep it flowing. Appreciate every single one of you. Sam says, thanks, Smitty. I picked up Likely because of your waiver wire show yesterday. Let's go, bro.
Mashed potatoes!
Look at you. Look at you, Sam. All capital letters. I love it. That's the only time I love seeing all caps is when someone comes in and says, I picked up Isaiah Likely because of your show. That's what he says. Lamar Universe, appreciate you, Joel, with the $2 hauler. You monster, you. Let me see if I got any $20 haulers that need immediate attention. Not yet, but we got super chats galore here. We got a $10 moonshot hauler from SKS. SKS, appreciate you dropping the wattage. We got 2 more subscribers on the channel already. It's weird because you know a lot of people watch and for some reason they don't subscribe, but there's a benefit to subscribing because you get alerted and you'll get suggested the videos more too for this particular channel, so you're not having to look for it or search for it. My guy, what a game. Trade, you prefer Kyron, Ayuk, or Rico, or Walker, or Kupp, or Warren? I don't know what this question's really asking. It's kind of a word salad. You prefer Kyron, Ayuk, and Rico, or Walker? Oh, okay. I got you. Kyron, Ayuk, and Rico Dowdle for Walker, Kupp, Warren. I got you. I'm sorry. It's not a word salad. It's pretty clear. I didn't see this. Sometimes my screen it's different than what you see. It gets blurry and it had it all cut up. I'd say, damn, Kyron, Ayuk, and Rico Dowdle for Walker, Kupp, Warren. I'm gonna say Kyron, Ayuk, and Rico Dowdle. But then I maybe try and trade Rico Dowdle. I'd take the Kupp side, but I would trade Rico Dowdle at some point, and he's very tradable. 2 more subscribers. You can hear the ding every time there's a subscriber. 830. We got 26,839. At this rate, we'll go over 27K on the show, and I'll change the background. 26,841. I'm gonna change the background to 27,000K when we go, if we do that on this or 26,000.9. If we go over, okay. TJ, appreciate you. I got Kincaid. Should I drop Taysom for Likely? Yes. Likely should not be on waivers. He should not be on waivers. I love Taysom Hill. I'm not saying that don't have all 3 and make a trade or something, but someone's going to scoop up Taysom. Traded Higgins and Derrick Henry for Devontae Smith and Achane last week. That is that's totally Smitty approved. Racing Boy, that's a phenomenal trade. Young with the super chat. Young, appreciate you. Young says the following: put Likely on the most wanted list. He might very well be on the most wanted list, pal. He just might be there. What a monster tight end recommendation. I gotta say, I'm very proud of that one. Coming out of the first game, I couldn't be more amped about what we've talked about and what's happened. Hey, bro, I've Auden as my tight end, and I have $100 fab dollars. How much should I put on Likely? Thank you for the support and always love you, Smitty. Guys, is he doing a full load drop?
Initiate full load drop.
Are we recommending this guy drop 100 out of 100 on Isaiah Likely because Cade Otton is his tight end? Can I get a vote from the chat? Do we do full load drop or not?
Initiate full load drop.
Please let me know what your vote is, and we'll let Seclan know. Seclan to the moon. Appreciate your $5 holler, Seclan. This one is from Jared. Jared says the following: so hyped after the game. Here's my team: 12-man, 2 flex, Mahomes, Kyron, Aaron Jones. Get Ford in there unless you're starting all 3. JJ, Devontae, Worthy, Diggs. Very good team. Okay, so bench. So you do. I'd be tempted to start Wright over Aaron Jones right out of the gate. I really would. I don't know. Am I off on that one, guys? Chat, let me know what we should do there. Are we going Wright over Aaron Jones? I just don't trust Aaron Jones at all. That offense is not going to do it either. So, someone dropped Luke McCaffrey in my dynasty full load drop for Luke McCaffrey. I wouldn't do it. I like McCaffrey, bro, but am I doing a full load drop? No, absolutely not. No. Getting carried away. Are you sure you don't mean Isaiah Likely? And should I move London plus a first and a second for Gibbs? I would do that. I would take Gibbs over London. We got 26,850 subscribers. That number, ever since I mentioned it, they've been going crazy. It's funny how you ask and people subscribe. You know, it's amazing. You guys are I work for you. $10 hauler here from Matthew gets a moonshot.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, Matthew. Matthew super chat is 14 team 0.5 league, 3 wide receivers, 1 flex. How am I looking? Lawrence, I like him, but I don't know if I want him as my starter. Achan, Walker, Swift. I don't like Swift this year. I'm trading Swift and Lawrence for a Kyler. Upgrade that QB situation, bro. Tyreek, Debo, Dell. Love your wide receivers. Cooks. I'm trading away Swift, and I mean, hell, bro, I'd go is Likely out there on waivers, pick him up, and then you're trading Pitts and potentially Swift for a QB upgrade, or just Swift and Lawrence for a slight QB upgrade. Past that, I mean, Cooks and Swift together for a tiny upgrade, or use Pitts and Swift for a running back upgrade. And then you just go rogue at tight end, and we figure it out as we go. We'll hit the waiver wire. Maybe some of the other guys are still there. You know what I'm saying? So this one right here is from T-Dub. Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb, DK, ETN, Najee, and Mark Andrews. Get rid of Mark Andrews if you can. Najee and Mark Andrews. Throw Andrews in for free eventually, or essentially. So you're going to go with Andrews and Najee for a perceived near close running back upgrade, but you're saying to yourself, I'm throwing him as icing on the cake to get that better player. So gifted memberships are rolling in from who dropped the gifted? Superfish dropped 5 gifted memberships right this very second. Superfish, appreciate you doing that. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's probably what I'm looking to do. Andrews and maybe Najee for 1 better player. Godwin and Najee for 1 better player. Godwin and Andrews for 1 better receiver. You can go that direction too. Cooper Kupp type player is what I'm targeting with the Godwin and Andrews situation. So very, very solid. Appreciate you. This one's from Abid. $5 hauler. Half PPR. Why are the gifted memberships not showing up on screen though? I don't understand what that's all about. Let me see if I can fix that real quick, because I feel like they normally are showing up on screen and they're not right now. I'm getting all the other super chat alerts, but not those. All right, maybe that fixed it. Half PPR, QB, QB's AR5, Debo, Rice, Kyron, Saquon, Pitts, Ford. Love the team. Nothing to even do here. Hold. Who should you trade for Quorum? Damn. I mean, I'd trade JMO for Quorum and something. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't think you can. I don't think you can do anything else. You don't want to sacrifice your team. Your team's really good. So if you can't do a J, and I don't know that I'd do it straight up. I like JMO, but you try and get something else. Neighbors doesn't have a chance to be top 25. Yeah, he does. Neighbors has a chance to be top 25, but Daniel Jones doesn't produce top 25 wide receivers, is what I'm saying. So it's really going to be, he's going to scrape out a very good year with doing it in a way that he should be a top 5 wide receiver, a top 6 wide receiver, but he's going to be the anomaly, I think, sure. But it's also something to where it's like it needs to be known that he doesn't do it, and therefore Neighbors can't excel on all levels. He's going to have to crawl into the top 15 or top 18 in a way that is tough. It's tough. It's going to be all him. It's not going to be touchdown volume. It's going to be him gritting it out, and that leads to potential injury too when you're putting the entire team on your back. You're trying to get every extra yard. You're getting past hospital balls. There's a chance that that's why Neighbors isn't a top 25 wide receiver, because he gets hurt by hospital ball city. Go get Pitts and DK for Kelsey and Kirk. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be a smash. I would hit the Smitty approve button in a second for that, pal. This one right here, traded Amari Cooper and Javonte for DK and Ferguson. Totally Smitty approved. Amazing trade. John says full load drop for Likely. London for Rice. No, I like Rice, but I'm not trading London just yet. Trade Kamara. I don't think I trade Kamara unless you're trading him high. Let him do some good damage in week 1. Kamara's got nobody behind him. It's all Kamara. He's got a great matchup to get fed. Okay, maybe his line's a concern. Isaiah Likely, full load drop. Guys, what do we say? Are we doing full load drop on Likely?
Initiate full load drop.
Look, these opportunities don't come around all the time. This was a guy I had on. This is not week 2 waiver. This is last week I did this. And Likely was the top guy, so you shouldn't have him out there. But if you do, are we doing a full load drop? Someone says hell no. Someone says no. Someone says nah. Someone says full load drop. Someone says 50%. Someone says no. Stop forgetting about Hollywood Brown. No full load drop. He's a tight end and it's week 1. Superfish dropping 5 gifted memberships. I'm going to say... Yeah, I'm going to agree that we don't go full load drop, maybe 50%. We'll see. The waiver wire shows to come. And maybe I changed my mind. I reserve the right to kind of hold off on whether I'm going to say full load drop or not. It doesn't matter, right? You can't pick them up right now. If you can pick them up right now in a league that doesn't have waivers, then grab them. Someone posted a trash post about you on, okay. Well, it is what it is. Some people don't like me. That's okay. You know you made it when you got a bunch of haters. It's fine. I'm dumb and drafted Henry, says Professor, and I also picked up Adams in a trade. Well, why'd you go after 2 players I told you not to go after? Would Adams and Henry be too much for going after Gibbs? No, but like try and get something back that can salvage a little bit. You know what I'm saying, bro? But Corey, appreciate you, Corey. Just traded Mahomes, Pacheco to get AR5 and Bijan. I like that, but there's some pros and cons to it. It's not a total home run across the board because I love Mahomes. I don't care if Mahomes didn't do what I wanted him to do in tonight's game. You know, it is what it is. Todd with a $5 hauler. There's nothing attached to that message. Todd, I don't know if you've been trying to, I think that's your second one. You're not putting the message in. Oh, but you did do another one here, Todd. Todd's message here says, Hurts, AJ Brown, Puka, London, Jones, Stevenson, Pitts. Do I make any moves? I like your team here a lot. Aaron Jones and Stevenson, I don't. But I love Hurts. I love AJ Brown. I love Puka. I like London. You're going to probably have to... I don't mind Stevenson I don't mind Stevenson in the 2. But Jones and maybe Puka for... Honestly, I'd even take a running back that's slightly like below where Puka's ADP was. So that's what makes it doable. Jones and Puka for a lower ranked player, Kyron or Achan. And Todd, I think that solves your problem. I think that fixes the situation. So definitely think I would go that route, my guy. Appreciate your super chat. Any moves, Puka, London? I think you dropped that message a couple times, which I truly appreciate. I know you thought I wasn't going to get it. But we're just kind of backlogged. But I got all your super chats. That equates to a $20 hauler that you dropped. You dropped $4 or $5, I think. Todd, appreciate you very much.
To Mars!
What a monster Todd is. Let's see if I can go over to this screen and we can get the... I don't know what's going on with the alerts, but this screen should have those alerts going. Let's see if this changes. Whenever we get a gifted membership, it should announce it. So I apologize. Superfish, thank you for those gifted memberships. Dropping a 5 wad a couple times at least. This should alert everybody. Okay, so we're doing the recap show right now, doing super chats. We'll be opening the phone lines in a few minutes, I believe, to discuss this game. PPR, Dobbs versus the Eagles or Keon versus the Cards. I'm going to probably go Keon Coleman in this one just because of the injury to Dobbs, though it probably is. We'll find out. But then the travel and all that. Bench 1, Achane, Kyren, Jacobs, Mostert. Probably going to bench Mostert, but man, Superfish, I mean, you're not crazy to put Achane and Mostert both in and like sit Jacobs for 1 week with the travel and go Kyren, Achane, and Mostert. It's probably the safest play, but Jacobs is an absolute monster. Is this the game? Is there going to be like a 1 game slump affair where it's travel, it's, all that stuff in effect, and I don't know. That's a tough call. It's between Mostert and Jacobs, but I think Jacobs is going to have a killer year. Sutton or Shakir? I'm going to go Shakir, but it's close. Do I drop or Kelsey already? Do you drop Kelsey already? No, Drizzle, you don't drop Kelsey. I have Flowers as my flex today, and Chase is wide receiver 1. Hopkins on my bench. Diggs is my wide receiver 2. Hopkins, I mean, maybe Diggs and you don't cut Kelsey. Maybe Diggs, maybe you trade Kelsey to somebody that's ambulance chasing, and you can get like a Tank Dell. You can get maybe an upgrade from maybe Diggs into a potential MHJ or something like that. But don't just cut Kelsey. Maybe trade Kelsey for Kelsey for Walker. Kelsey, Diggs and Kelsey for one big monster like London or something like that. Drizzle, appreciate you. Do not give up on Kelsey at that value. I definitely am concerned about Kelsey, but we're not cutting him. Rate this team: Richardson, Jacobs, Connor, St. Brown, Waddle, and Njoku, Thomas, Worthy. Really good squad for the most part. The depth is a little lacking. I like Jacobs, Richardson, St. Brown, Waddle, and Worthy, but I am a little concerned about that I don't see Benson, so Connor's your starter. If you had Benson, I'd say this is pretty crafty. Do I trade Rico and Connor for one better player? I do. Is that hard? Maybe. Maybe it's hard to do that. Maybe you're trading Thomas and Connor. Maybe you're trading Rico and Thomas for a Walker-type player. And I'm not even afraid to trade Connor and Thomas for... Man, I really like Jerome Ford this year. I would trade Connor for Ford. I like Ford a lot. I'd trade Rico Dowdle for Ford. I'd trade Rico Dowdle and Thomas for Walker. I wouldn't even be afraid to trade Rico and Thomas for Benson, and let's say that person had... you'd have to tell me the team. Like, tell me what the Benson owner has, Gonzalez. I think that's the route we take. I think we try and use Rico Dowdle to get Benson, but you deserve more. Like, I don't want you doing it straight up because Rico's a starter, essentially. Super stoked, Smitty. My starting lineup this week is Allen, Bijan, Gibbs, Achane, Worthy, Dell, Coleman. Guys, keep hitting that subscribe button. If we get over 27K on the show, it'll be unbelievable that we did that in one show. Climbed like hundreds of subscribers from 26K, about 26.7K up to 27K in one show. We have 26,859 subscribers right now. We've literally had about 30 subscribers during the live show, maybe 40. I forget what the number was that exactly when we started, but $10 hauler from my boy Ray.
To the moon.
Ray, appreciate you, my guy. Ray says Gibbs, Achane, Worthy, Dell, Coleman, very good team, man. Allen, Bijan, smash. You're gonna crush it this week, bro. Let that team play it out. No suggestions at all. Slayer says mashed potatoes. Slayer to the moon. Slayer, my guy. Slayer, my guy. Slayer, my guy. Appreciate you, Slayer. Okay, let's get to these other super chats here. Eric Castro in the building. Eric, I appreciate you. Smitty, here's my 12-team full PPR. Josh Allen, Kyron, Monty, Neighbors, Laporta, benches, Dobbins. Okay, what are we doing here? Maybe we're trading away. I don't think you can do anything until JMO, Warren, and maybe, let's see here. JMO, Warren, Neighbors, and Monty all solidify. So, unfortunately, my guy, you are waiting until we get to a territory. Yeah, you're waiting until we get to a territory where those guys have value and you can make a trade. What a day. What a day. I'm so excited about today's game. Such a good game tonight. Eric, appreciate you. Josh Allen, Kyron, Monty. Again, Monty and Dobbins. JMO and Dobbins. Warren and Neighbors for a big monster. But if you can't get that, wait. Do not sell low. I really think you need to have Neighbors go out and have a day or something. Rashad White and D. Adams for Pacheco. I think that's selling a little low. I don't hate the idea, but you need to get more money, Mitch. You got to get more, bro. You have to. Drafted Worthy in the 12th in a 10-man league.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Nice move, Racing Boy. Absolute smash. Rock out. Appreciate you. Check DM. Okay, rock out. Remind me. Call in and remind me because I'm flowing through these supers and I don't want to get distracted on this quite the second. But I'm coming for you. Rock out's dropping us a rap. We need to play that rap song for him. It's just a 10-second clip here. Sup, Smitty, watching live from the vape shop. Obviously, you can't predict the future, but do you believe in Keon Coleman has the Xavier Worthy performance? I think he could. We love Worthy and Coleman. I'm hoping we see it. I can't guarantee it, but certainly like a touchdown and like 80 yards is certainly something I think that Coleman could have. But don't be shocked if Coleman has the Kincaid start either, though, last year, where we thought he was going to do something in the beginning and everybody gave up on him. Like, could Coleman be a drop candidate coming out of the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season and me screaming and yelling at the top of my lungs? Absolutely could. Charles T with a $20 hauler. That's an immediate assistance. Appreciate you, my guy, dropping the wattage on screen. Where was that? It was over here. Charles T, 0.5 PPR, JD5, McCaffrey, Pacheco, Debo, Rice, Pitts, Javonte. Okay, Javante's a trade opportunity here. C. Watson, Javonte. You can't really trade anything else, though. You know, you're kind of beholden to this week in watching it play out. Dobbins needs to gain some value. Debo, don't trade him. You're waiting. I don't know that you can do anything. Trade. Tries McCaffrey and Watson for Javonte for Achane. You're not going to get that. Wait, what is it? Hold on. Trade McCaffrey and Watson for Javonte and Achane and St. Brown. Yeah, you're not going to get that. St. Brown and Achane, certainly try. Would I trade McCaffrey for Achane and even like a Cooper Kupp or Achane and maybe I go as low as DK potentially? I would definitely do that. But St. Brown and Brees or St. Brown and Achane's a tall order, but certainly try it. Brees and Mostert. So you're saying Brees and Mostert for CMC. I would say try and get a receiver or something if you're going to. I like the first idea. So yes, but I don't know that I'm going to do Mostert. Mostert could get hurt by midseason, and it could be just a Brees for CMC trade. I think you can get more, like a Tank Dell or something at least, you know. If you were to get Kyron and Dell for CMC, I'd even take that. Should I, tight end Bowers, should I start him or pick up Goddard or Schultz? Is likely a waiver wire guy. Thoughts on BT? Likely a waiver wire guy. AB, he's the best wide receiver pickup of the week walking in preemptively, yes. So I put this waiver show up about, I don't know, five days ago or something. And 4 days ago, I don't know. Likely was the number one waiver wire pickup preemptively so of course, yes, he's a full load drop potentially. So appreciate you, my guy. and I pick him up over Goddard or Schultz, obviously. Thoughts on BT and McMillan? I like McMillan a lot. His situation isn't going to afford him an amazing opportunity right away from the jump, but I think with Godwin and Evans being the guys, very injury-prone situations, I think we see McMillan flash some glory. BT should be wide receiver 3 capable from the jump, my guy. Charles T, appreciate your $20 hauler. Again, you absolutely rock. Myra with the $20 hauler gets immediate attention. $20 super chat. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
By the way, I don't know where all these bills are. They're disappearing like socks in the dryer. I can't find half of them. They're getting like tucked away in nooks and crannies with the money blower. Myra, we got 18 PPR: Hurts, Brees, Gibbs, JJ, Devontae Smith, McBride, Jacobs, Ferguson, off waivers, Ford, McLaurin, Sutton. Very good squad. I don't know. I don't have your depth or your bench to say who to cut, but I don't cut a single starter. I don't even need to trade a single starter. I love your entire team. Would I maybe try and upgrade Ferguson using McLaurin or Thomas or something? To maybe get into a McBride or Kincaid or something over Ferguson, sure. The top waiver wire guy to me is Ford or McLaurin. I would want both of those. I don't know who your bench players are, but I would definitely pick up McLaurin and Ford. And if you don't get McLaurin, pick up Brian Thomas Jr. But those are fantastic pickups. And 8-man leagues are like that. It's hard to make trades in 8-man leagues because everyone's happy with their team. Everybody's loaded. Nobody has any depth problems at all. Who Dat Lolo with a $10 hauler. Appreciate Who Dat coming in strong with a 10 wad. We got 1,318 people in here. 1,318 people. Please hit that subscribe button. Right now we're at 26,864 subscribers. We're trying to get to 27K on this show, and we're not that far away. So appreciate you. Todd, appreciate you dropping that super chat, like I said, or those 4 super chats. And who was on the board here? Have Lamar so I can do a nice little stack starting Bowers this week. I have Lamar so I can do a nice little stack starting Bowers this week. I have Sinnott on my bench, and I have the number 1 waiver claim for Likely. Very, very good. Pick up Likely. He's definitely worth the number 1 waiver claim. Is he worth a full low drop in fab dollars? I would say we're thinking half, but I reserve the right to change my mind for Sunday night's waiver wire show. Picked up Fields, dropped Schultz for Musgrave. Schultz and Musgrave are close. I think Schultz is safer, but Musgrave has higher upside, more risk because he was injured last year, and there's some concern that he puts it all together. But I absolutely don't mind that at the end of the day, either way. This is a $10 hauler from my boy. Who is this? James, 14-team league. Hurts, HN, Chase Brown, Ridley, St. Brown, Worthy. Such a worthy pick. St. Brown, Worthy, Kincaid, Michael Wilson on the bench, Herbert. Okay, not a lot of depth, not a lot of trade maneuvers to do. You don't have any depth. No one's trading, no offense, no one's trading for any of those players on your bench. None. So the only thing you could do is like combine like 2 players like a Chase Brown and a Ridley for 1 bigger, stronger player, which I would contemplate if it was a potential Kyron or maybe even a Kenneth Walker, essentially. Past that, I'm going to say hold. I'm going to say you're a 7.5 because of the no depth, but I'm going to say your starting lineup has the capability of being a top 8.0 out of 10 league winning potential team. We've got 2 more subscribers. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button. Jared, my other league, 12-man PPR, 6 points per TD pass. AR5, Kyler, Bijan, ETN. Love to see it. Cup, London, Rice. Love to see Rice in there. Andrews, very disappointing you drafted Andrews. That's okay. We can fix it. Andrews and Rico Dowdle, trade them for 1. Trade them for a McBride. Trade them for a Kincaid. Trade Andrews and Dowdle for, hell, you could go rogue at the tight end position. Hopefully, Likely's on waivers. You got Musgrave anyway. Trade Andrews and Dowdle for maybe an upgrade of let's say, ETN to Kyron or HN. Or maybe you upgrade AR5 to Mahomes. Use Dowdle and Andrews to get Mahomes using AR5. Those are all moves I would make personally because I'm crazy. Stefan, appreciate you with the $5 hauler. Offered Mahomes 2 more subscribers. You guys are awesome. I offer Mahomes for Metcalf. I'm going to take offer Mahomes for Metcalf. I have Kyler Rice. This is tough because you have Kyler. He's really good. So you're taking a little bit of a gut shot to get an upgrade at QB, and then you take a hit at wide receiver. But you have Rice, you have Kupp, you have Adams. I would rather trade Adams for Mahomes and keep DK. Some might disagree with me, but this makes it tough. I'm not going to say not to do it. I'd rather have Mahomes than DK. But it is, if you can't get rid of Kyler, you could be taking a little bit of a bath in the lineup production. So I would take a strong look around the league and see if Kyler is tradable to get like Worthy before Worthy becomes Worthy. Worthy would have been the best go-get player in fantasy. He was the best go-get player, and he was an absolute Marsman or Moon Man extraordinaire.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the guy to go get. Now you need to find the next Worthy. Is it Coleman? Is it one of those guys? We'll find out. But 10-team, Purdy, CD, Puka, White, Kamara, Laporta, London, Neighbors, Chase Brown. Maybe you're trading Ramondre. I'm trading White away. Rashad White is in a running back by committee. And that news broke yesterday, and it's not good, and we said this all along. Big avoid. Some of the avoids we've smashed. We've smashed some of the avoids. Derrick Henry does not look good right now. He scored a touchdown. People are like, oh, you talked too soon, Smitty. By the end of the game, we're all in agreement. Derrick Henry does not look good. The offensive line looks awful. The amount of subbing in and out he did. The fact that Derrick Henry wasn't even in there in 2-minute drills or at the end of the game when they needed him. They're putting in Hill left and right. Hill's got all the receiving production. Derrick Henry had 2 targets, 0 receptions, and 0 yards. Derrick Henry, big avoid. Andrews, big avoid. Rashad White, big avoid. We're smashing the hell out of these avoids so far. Trade away Rashad White with Reed or with Ramondre, or you wait and see what happens. Maybe he has a good game. It's going to be a committee. I'm trying to upgrade Purdy, Rio. I would definitely like to upgrade Purdy. Maybe you're a Niner fan and you're thinking, why would I upgrade Purdy? I love Purdy. Superfish dropping more gifted memberships. 5 gifted memberships from Superfish. Max says, you're the man, Smitty. No, Max, you're the man. I work for you, Max. I work for you. Dell or Ford in the flex. Pretty even. I think I'd sleep like a baby either way. I'd probably put Dell in if it's full PPR. I'd put Ford in if it's half or non. $10 hauler for this man right here.
To the moon.
Vin, appreciate you, my guy. You're an absolute monster. Let me see if I can get over to this screen here for a little bit. So Vin, appreciate you. Vin says Devontae Smith, or Mahomes, Kyron, Devontae Smith, Marvin Harrison Jr., Tank Dell Musgrave. Very good team. Kyler Murray, Keon Coleman, Jerome Ford. This is a team worthy. Worthy on the bench. You kind of had to, I guess, in this case. Dell, you're putting Dell in, in week 1. But man, you got some maneuverability. Just maybe wait, let Dell do some work. Let all these guys score. There's no trade to be made really. Grade, I'd say like a 7.8. So there's a lot of potential here. Definitely, that's a good score. That's the score of a team that could win it all. Really, you just need maybe 1 or 2 things to happen. Also need to drop one for a kicker. I think you probably drop, as much as I hate to say it, is Wicks, because I don't know that you're going to use them. And I don't like dropping those RBs. So I'm going to say negative on dropping the RBs. Viral says, do I start Keon or Neighbors? You've got to start Neighbors, I think. But, I mean, this could be a worthy game or it could be a non-worthy game. Meaning Xavier Worthy. We don't know. Like, if you said, do I start Neighbors or Xavier Worthy? We're probably all telling you start probably Neighbors. But I would have told you, because I said it to Travis when he said Rice or Rice or Worthy. I said Rice, but like we did kind of say, but he gets runs. He's going to run the ball too. He might have a running touchdown, and Worthy had a running touchdown. Rate this team, 12-team PPR, 3 wide receivers, Mahomes, St. Brown, London, Rice, Zamir, Hubbard, Kincaid. Really good team. I'm trading Deontay away the first chance I get. Zamir and Deontay for one better player. This team before that trade, I would say, is a 7.5, which isn't bad. It just means it needs a trade or two, some waiver wire action, something like that to give you the difference maker. And that trade would do it for me. Zamir White and a Deontay for like a Walker or above type running back. Maybe Pacheco is capable of being had. There's some risk. Make sure you cuff him. P. Ryan and the Lionheart are pretty easy to pick up. Hey, Smitty, should I trade away Puka for MHJ? I personally would, but not everybody would agree. I just think MHJ is going to have Puka's season. You know, it'll be balanced different. London or Dell in the flex, you're going to go London. You drafted London higher. You got to go London for now. Neighbors, Dell, Ridley, pick 2. I'm going to go Neighbors and Dell. I love Ridley, though, so I will be rooting for him this week. Drop JMO or Dobbs for likely. I'm dropping Dobbs, not JMO. I love JMO. 0.5 in the flex, 1 Monty, Dell, or Ford. I'm probably going to say Ford is your steady Eddie, your safe play. The upside's a little bit capped. Dell is your highest risk, highest reward. And Ford is, I think, the best combo of them both. So at the end of the day, Ford, if you need safety but you still want more upside, I don't know. You know, I guess I would go Dell. If it's 0.5 PPR or full PPR and it's 0.5, I'm going to go Dell personally. But I don't think you're crazy to go Monty if you want to just secure some touchdown production and everything. But I'm going to go Dell. Meant to say that I ate my bench and I got Jake off of waivers and have McBride. Okay, that's a $20 hauler, by the way. So appreciate you with a $20 hauler again. Absolute, straight up savage dropping super chats. Let me see what we're trying to say here, though, again, because I feel like I'm missing the point again for some crazy reason. Let's see here. Now you got 3 $20 super chats from Myra. Appreciate you dropping these. Let me put them all on screen and try and piecemeal this together. Okay, so you said right here, you said in your first one we got 8 Hurts, Brees, Gibbs, JJ, Devonta Smith, McBride, Jacobs, Ferguson, and then okay. So then in the second super chat you said meant to say, and then there's another super chat. Here we go. Another $20 super. So you have 3 $20 super chats. Unbelievable. Again, Marshot. Marshot. Thank you, Myra. Appreciate you. All right. So then the second one was meant to say that ate my bench. I meant to say, no, I misspoke up here. I meant to say ate my bench. And I got Jake off of waivers. On your bench, I think you mean. Meant to say on your bench. Okay, so I'm piecing this together. Slowly but surely. Your bench is not waivers. It's Ford, McLaurin, Sutton. Okay, got it. And then over here, already have all those people on my bench, meant to say. I got Jake from waivers. Okay, Jake from State Farm off waivers. Already have McBride. Okay, we piecemealed it together. Appreciate your super chats. Again, my advice to you with this team would be you have a fantastic core on the team. Hurts, Brees, Gibbs, JJ, Devonta Smith, McBride, Jacobs. You don't need to touch a single thing. Ferguson's actually a top 5-6 tight end. Okay, so you don't even need to upgrade him. What I would do, though, is wait. You can't do anything with Ford or McLaurin until they ball out this weekend, and ball out they probably will. And so I think what it is, Myra, is I wish I could give you some crazy advice right now, especially with all the super chats you've given me. But my best advice is sometimes don't do anything. And this team is ready to rumble. The only thing you could possibly do is maybe trade Ferguson and McLaurin early for a McBride or a Laporta or something. McBride, Laporta, or Kincaid. Because I do think those tight ends are worth trading away McLaurin or Sutton or both those guys. But the thing about that is, what if Kincaid or McBride slump this week and McLaurin has 120 yards and a touchdown? So my ultimate advice is to maybe poke around at that, but maybe we wait until after this week and let these players ball out, because you have a killer team. Now, granted, again, everybody in these 8-man leagues has a good roster, but the key to having a team that I think can win an 8-man league is having that quarterback. You have one of the top 3 quarterbacks, so you have a huge advantage over everybody else that is not the Mahomes owner or the Josh Allen owner. And so that separates the 8-man league. Who has that top 3 QB? Thank you so much. 10 people, PPR, Gibbs, Monty, Swift, Chuba, AJB, Higgins, Waddle, Coleman. I'm trading Swift and Higgins or Swift and Waddle for one bigger, stronger, better running back. The Kyren, the HN variety, the JT potentially. I would try and keep Waddle if I can and trade Higgins. Higgins and Swift or Higgins and Monty. I know you have Gibbs, but I don't really see them as a cuff necessarily. It's good, but it's problematic too, because you'll just be at some point like trying to figure out, do you put in these other players or do you start Monty? I think Monty's good. I think he's not amazing. He's not top 5 capable. He is some weeks he can produce that way, but Gibbs is the starter. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if a depth chart says something different tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter. He is the absolute bona fide workhorse. But Monty will get 10 touchdowns on the year. Monty will get 10 scores on the year, and it will have nothing to do with Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say with this team, I am trading Higgins and Monty or Higgins and Swift for one bigger, stronger, better player in the Kyren HN variety. 100%. And as for your quarterback, who's your quarterback? JD5, I kind of let everything else ride until the week's over. Thank you for the $10 hauler. John, appreciate you with your super chat. Young man, Mahomes, CD, AJ Brown, Rashee Rice. Attaboy.
To the moon.
Attaboy with Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice. John, you did it. You did it, John. This is what you've been preparing for. Rice did it. Zamir, I like your team. I want you to upgrade your RBs. Or one of them. Keep CD. Or keep Kenneth Walker. Keep Mahomes. Keep CD. Keep AJ Brown. Keep Rashee Rice. Keep Kenneth Walker. You're trading Zamir. And you don't have anything. There's nothing to do. Yeah, your only move is to wait. You can't. You're not going to get anything. There's nothing on. No offense, but there's nothing on the bench. The bench is the lightest I've ever seen, John. There's nothing you can do. Let it ride. Your team's good. Your team's good. You have no depth. You need to make sure you're hitting the waiver wire shows. You need some more depth. Make sure you look at my preemptive waiver wire. Preemptive week 1 waiver wire show. This is the show that told you to draft likely or to pick up likely before it's too late. Make sure none of these guys like Ford aren't sitting out there, bro. I don't want to see you here next week saying, hey, should I pick up Ford? I'd be like, what about my preemptive waiver wire show? Diego, appreciate you. 12-man, 2 flex, ETN, HN, Godwin, Lamb, Kelsey. Maybe Kelsey and Godwin for one better player. Godwin and ETN for a Kyren type upgrade. Brian Robinson and Kelsey for a McBride or a potential Laporta or a Kincaid. A Kelsey and Godwin for a Debo or Cooper Kupp. Brian Robinson, same thing. Any of those combos for that type of player would be a huge win and upgrade for you. Burn with a $20 hauler and Jace with a $20 hauler. Straight up monsters, both of you, getting $20 hauler celebrations. I'm going to give you both at the same time a celebration. 1 Mars shot.
2 Mars.
And then also the money cannon. Thank you very much.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
These bills stay in the air so long. 12-team Superflex. Mahomes, HN, Walker, Jamar Chase, Waddle, Myers, Kelsey, Rodgers, Ford. Love the team. Any trade ideas? Right on waivers. You got to pick up Wright. I'd take Wright over Shaheed for sure. And as far as trade ideas, Ford's got to gain value. Ramondre, no one's going to buy Ramondre right now. Maybe if you did a 2-for-1, like Ramondre and maybe Kelsey for an upgraded tight end. Kincaid, Laporta, or McBride. McBride doesn't seem to have the value he should, and same thing with Kincaid. So there's possibility someone sees Kelsey and says, he's Kelsey. He had a bad game. You don't know. So there's Ramondre and Kelsey for one better tight end upgrade. You could also go Ramondre and potentially Waddle for like Kyron, for Barkley, for JT. Those are moves that I think I would make all of those. I'd try and attempt all of those at least. And Byrne didn't listen on Andrews. It's okay, Byrne. I'm sorry you drafted him. Hopefully I get Likely from the waiver wire. Okay, Byrne, first of all, you're a $20 hauler. I don't want to yell at you. You gave me a $20 hauler. But not only did you not listen to me on Andrews, you didn't listen to me on grabbing Likely, at least if you're going to do that, and you didn't listen to me on adding Likely when I told you he was the best preemptive week 1 waiver wire pickup. So I'm not going to send you on a lap because you dropped a $20 hauler, but we'll get it taken care of. Start listening to your boy. Hopefully you get him off waivers. Team is QB Murray, Watson, Barkley, Gibbs, Jacobs. Okay, you have really good running backs. Chase, Brown, Ford, wide receivers, MHJ, Debo, and Worthy. Tell me you started Worthy this week. Andrews and maybe Andrews and maybe Debo for a St. Brown type upgrade. Other than that, you're not trading Debo. I like Debo. Andrews and Barkley for... Honestly, I would trade Andrews and Barkley for Kyron. Like I'm crazy. I want Kyron. But other than that, like Andrews and maybe Ford later when Ford gains some value. Maybe Christian Watson goes crazy. Maybe you can trade away. Yeah, maybe you trade away Christian. I hope you start a Worthy. Maybe you trade away Christian Watson and Andrews. Let Christian Watson have his day, and then maybe that's where you go. But I certainly wouldn't mind throwing Andrews into anything to get something done. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an additive, an accoutrement, icing on the cake. He doesn't have to get you something 1-for-1. He could get you something that's just an upgrade. How much fab on Likely? It's hard to say. 50% at least, I guess. Fred says he started him. Good job, Fred. Fred to the moon. Stroud, half PPR, Jamar Chase, Diggs, Kelsey, Jacobs, Singletary, Flowers. How are my starters? Your starters are looking strong, bro, with Flowers already kicking it off. We be tempted to trade Kelsey away. I don't know if you can pick up Likely off waivers. A lot of people seem to not do it. Hopkins, Shakir, Swift, Spears, Herbert, 2 QB2. Herbert's your QB2. Okay. Your team's good. It's strong. Stroud, Chase, Diggs, and Kelsey and Jacobs is really good. I'm not a huge fan of Flowers this year. I know everybody thought I was wrong when he started to get heavily involved in the beginning of the game, but you kind of see what it's like for him. He can do really well, and there's only so much volume there. And to overthrow him in the end zone, Lamar, it would have been a big day for him. But Lamar's not an accurate quarterback. This team is going to be scrambling around all season long. Lamar's going to be throwing on the run constantly, and he's going to be running the ball and maybe even getting hurt at some point. So like Swift and Flowers for a wide receiver upgrade would be kind of what I'm looking to do, to be honest with you. That's what I would do. That's my prerogative with that team. So appreciate you. LOL says, thoughts on Henry moving forward. Bro, you got to watch the beginning of the show. We did a whole Panic Chamber episode on it, but of course I'm panicked. I put him in the Panic Chamber. I closed the door, LOL. Make sure you watch the beginning of the show. I think that this team is going to have problems. The offensive line looks putrid, and they took him out constantly. They don't trust him in the receiving game. If they're ever in a 2-minute drill, or even if they're at the goal line in 2-minute drill fashion, he's not in there. So, LOL, you have to go watch the rest of the show. I can't read to that whole part, but I gave you in a nutshell what I'm thinking. I gave away free subs to our people, says Slayer. Slayer, appreciate you. Did you drop gifted memberships? Is that what you're saying? Gifted memberships. We have 1 gifted membership from Dallas. We had 5 gifted memberships from Superfish. Good Lord, Superfish gifted 5 memberships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 10 or 11 times. Russell gifted memberships twice. 5 memberships twice. Good Lord. Superfish, I'm sorry I didn't see that. I don't know why it's not showing everybody's gifted membership. I gave away free subs. Okay, thank you, Slayer. Appreciate you. Slayer to the mother freaking moon. Mark with the $2 hauler. How's my stack? Mahomes, Pacheco, Rice. It's solid. I don't like stacking in like quarterback and running back and wide receiver in non-best ball though. You know, it doesn't make sense because like Pacheco is going to have good games and bad games, whereas I think you're going to want to root for the passing offense or the rushing offense. You know what I mean? But it's good. I mean, it's a potent offense. I don't think I'd sell it necessarily, but I would be, if I'm going to sell anything, it's going to be Pacheco maybe. Murray, Connor, Gibbs, Evans, St. Brown, Kincaid. Solid team. Dowdle, I'm trying. Oh, did you say you have Dowdle? No, you don't have Dowdle. Rice, Olave. Very good squad. Very good squad. Connor, I think I want to upgrade that. Connor and maybe a Javante or something with Olave for a slight upgrade at wide receiver. So Connor and Olave for a huge running back upgrade maybe. Evans and St. Brown, you're good at wide receiver. Dell, you got a lot of talent here. So yeah, Olave and Connor for a running back upgrade. And I'm thinking something along the Kyron, HN, Barkley, JT. I think Jacobs is not maybe enough. I think I'd give up Javante and Olave for Jacobs, and you might go that direction. Even Walker, potentially. So if you got to dial it down a little bit, I think that's okay, Legend. If you do that, thank you for the super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. All right, here we go. We got more super chats here to get to. We got John with a super chat wad here. John says, you're the best, Smitty. You know, you're the best. Send a super chat. Please rate my 12-team auction going for a 3-peat. John, did I already get to that? John B. It's a crazy league. Smitty bench is a real weak. Guys like Ford are not available. 12-team auction, highly competitive. Went a bit heavy. And then I think I already reviewed your team. Mahomes, CD, AJ Brown, Rasheed Rice, Walker, Zamir. Yeah, I already reviewed this. Yeah, thank you, pal, for the super chats. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for letting me know, too. All right, John, to the moon. Let's see here. Rag, appreciate you. Drop Benson for Dowdle on waivers or Corum on waivers. I'd rather have Blake Corum, I think. Like, Dowdle should be picked up and traded, though. You know, like, drop your kicker and do both and just kind of, like, try and maneuver Dowdle until kickoff. You know what I'm saying? Ridley or Godwin. I'm going Ridley. But anything can happen. Those are 50-50 calls. Like, preference, really. But I'm not starting Godwin, I don't think. Hey, Smitty, good to be back. What's your take on Henry rest of season? Alex, go watch the beginning of the show. I can't really repeat all that. I did a whole Panic Chamber segment on it, like for 10, 15 minutes ranting and raving. But Alex, I appreciate you. And the general consensus of it is that I don't want anything to do with him. You know, they took him out constantly, bro. And he's not trusted, and he didn't look good, and he's probably going to get hurt. He's 30 years old. So watch the beginning of the show. I do a whole segment on it, and it's at the beginning of this show. Thank you for the super chat. 10-team full PPR. JD5, Bijan, Kyron, Cup, Debo, Walker, bench, Corum, Dowdle, Zeke, Hopkins, Monty, Mostert. I'll try trading Dowdle soon. Absolutely. You're good team. Amazing wide receivers. Love Walkers in your flex. Dowdle and Hopkins, Dowdle and Montgomery, Dowdle and Mostert, Dowdle and JD5, all for, you know, upgrades. That's the only thing I can, suggest to you. I don't want you to trade Cup, Kyron, Bijan, Debo, Walker. It's just JD5, upgrade him, or Dowdle and Hopkins to upgrade Dowdle slightly, or Monty and Dowdle. If anybody needs 2 running backs, trading 2 running backs is tough though. But Dowdle and Monty for, even if you're just going slightly above, like to a, I mean, obviously Kyron Achan type guy, but maybe you're going after even a Nico type of player, essentially. Dowdle and Monty for like Nico. Dowdle and Monty for, I mean, JD5, I love JD5, but if I could upgrade him into Mahomes using Monty, I'd trade Monty, Dowdle, and JD5 for Mahomes right now with your specific team. And this is a guy that loves JD5. It's just, I want Mahomes so bad, especially off of this game. It's going to be my biggest buy low walking into week number 2. Already can tell you. Donald, appreciate you. 8-team league, rate your team. Hurts, Hall, keeper. Bijan, DK, Ayuk, Laporta, Devontae Smith. Love the team. Dell's on the bench. You got to get Dell in there somehow. Keenan Allen would be a great trade piece. Keenan Allen, and maybe you're upgrading DK or Ayuk or Devontae Smith. So what does that entail? Well, Ayuk and Keenan Allen for Cooper Kupp would work amazingly. I think even an MHJ from even, let's say, Devontae Smith and Keenan Allen for MHJ. Obviously St. Brown and above, but you're probably not going to get that. Jamar Chase is still kind of a risk right now. There's a lot of people saying they don't know if he's going to play week 1, and I told you all that last night when everybody started saying he's back on the field, he's doing good. He is on the field, but he's still wanting his contract. So, and I even got to pull up that stuff because that news could be breaking as we speak. So I need to keep refreshing. Kincaid is my tight end, says Durf. Appreciate you. Kincaid to the moon, bro. Kincaid's going to have a top 3 season this year. He could be the tight end 1. There's certainly a world where that exists. Lopez, 12-man. JD5, HM, Monty, CD, Evans, Terry, McBride, JSN. Love the squad. Love the squad. Probably going to say something like, Evans or Monty. I could upgrade that. If I can upgrade that, that'd be amazing. You've got Warren, you've got Mostert. You got a lot of players that unfortunately need to do some damage before you can trade them. Like, who's going to value Scary Terry the way we do? Nobody. You got to wait. Hollywood, he's been hurt. Chase Brown, who knows? Jaylen Warren, I love him, but he's coming back from an injury, and he hasn't quite taken the job yet. Mostert, people think maybe he's done. I don't think he is. I think he gets hurt or something, but he's going to be great. And you don't want to trade him anyways because you have Achane. So is it something along the lines of like you're trading Evans and Monty for one Kyron, or Evans and Monty for a potential JT, or Evans and Monty for a St. Brown or higher? That's going to be what's required because that's a lot of talent you're giving. Those are all avenues I would 100% explore. Bring them to us before you pull the trigger, though, I think. Trade Mostert and DK for James Conner and McLaurin. No, I would not do that. I would not. Make sure Wright's not out there on waivers, please. Defense, Cowboys or Bears? Do I drop one of those for? Defense, Cowboys, and Bears. Do I drop one of those for? For what, Drizzle? I don't know what this is saying. I don't know if this is related to another question, or do I drop one of those for? I don't know. Drizzle, you got to remember, Drizzle, by the time I get to another super chat, I have no idea what we're talking about. Let me see if what Drizzle says. You guys it's got to all be in one message, or I have no clue what we're talking about by that point. Drizzle. I don't know, Drizzle. Drop the Bears D, pick up Sutton or Davis. Curtis Samuel. Drop Bears D. Boys, do I pick up Sutton, Gabe Davis, or Brian Thomas Jr.? I pick up Brian Thomas Jr., Drizzle. I'm going to answer that question for you. Drop Bears D, pick up Sutton or Dave. I'd pick up, I guess, is that BTJ? I pick up BTJ, bro. Defense. I don't know this defense question you're asking, though. This doesn't make sense to me, Drizzle. I'm sorry. I can't answer that. I don't know what you're saying. But I did answer that other one, BTJ. If he's out there, you got to grab him. If you got another question, Drizzle, I'll try and help you. But put it all in one message and act like I'm an idiot, and spell it out for me. Because I really won't know what we're talking about. Sometimes people, like an hour later, is like, okay, which for? Which for what? $10 holler, appreciate you. My guy Tony, 12-team PPR with the extra regular flex. Hurts, Gibbs, Kyron, Debo, Pickens, McBride, Warren, Coleman, bench, Chris Brown. Chase Brown, AD Mitchell. Love AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell could have a little bit of a poor man's Worthy game. He could have AD Mitchell could look like a poor man's Xavier Worthy on Sunday. Joel says, Smitty gives Superfish a coffee for 85 gifted. I'm so upset right now that I don't see Superfish's gifted memberships sitting on screen going over and over and over. I can't fix it either. Superfish 85 gifted memberships. Get Superfish a coffee, for goodness sake. I don't know why it's not showing. Tony, appreciate your $10 hauler. Thank you, Joel, for letting me know about that. And I have been seeing it. It's just, I don't know why it's not going on screen. Part of me thinks, I think I could get into the, hold on. Let me see if I can reset something. This might do the trick. If I do this, it could work. This might do the trick. Okay, I'm not saying somebody has to drop a gifted membership now, but I'm hoping this fixes it. $10 hauler here. Hurts. There's 1,000 people still in the live stream. 604 thumbs up. We have 26,878 subscribers. Please subscribe if you're new. I know at least 20 or 30% of the 1,000 people watching right now have not yet actually physically subscribed, but it helps the channel, which helps you. So appreciate you. Hurts, Gibbs, Kyron, Debo, Pickens, McBride, Warren, Coleman. What a team. What a team. Any moves? I don't think so. I don't think you can. I don't want you to trade any of those players, and you certainly don't have anybody on the bench yet. AD Mitchell and Chase Brown will be changing that. Let them ball out. But you don't have anybody that can really get you back what you deserve to get back trading them. So you're going to wait and let them ball out. But your team's very good. You're on the verge of being the best team in the league if you just let somebody pop off on the on the bench and become valuable for trade, or maybe you're starting Chase Brown after week 1 because he looks so good. 10-man PPR, AR5, Saquon, Mixon, Adams, Neighbors, Godwin, Dell. I mean, Dell shouldn't be on your bench. We're trading Mixon and Godwin. This is the easiest question I've had all night. I'm trading Mixon and Godwin for one player immediately. And I don't even care if it's barely an upgrade. I'm talking about give me Walker, give me Jacobs, give me Cooper Kupp. Obviously, those are all major upgrades. But I'm just saying, keep going down the gauntlet of players. And then get Dell in the mother freaking lineup already. And I'd throw Dowdle in if I needed to get that done. Godwin and Dowdle and Mixon for one bigger, stronger player, and you do it live. You do that, your team goes from a 7.1 to like a 7.8, which is borderline in the top 4 without even me looking at your rosters. But you need to do that. It needs to be done. $10 hauler. Get some moonshot, Russell.
To the moon.
Russell coming in strong with a 10 wad. Russell also coming in strong with a 5 wad on screen. So let's put Russell's doubles side by side. Not a Kelsey owner. Let's pump the brakes on tossing him into the chamber. He was covered by Hamilton, the best safety alive. Ravens plan to seem to be letting anyone besides Kelsey beating him. Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're coming from on that, but I certainly think, and if you listen to what I said though, Russell, is I said he's the one I'm least worried about, and he's the one that I would buy on the low. So I did say exactly kind of what you're saying. He was not somebody I said run from. He was not somebody I said trade for him for pennies on the dollar. And he was somebody, the only one that I said, I'd actually, everybody in the panic chamber, he's the one I would acquire if the price was right. It seems the NFL Ds will be playing pick your poison with the Chiefs skill players, which absolutely terrifying. X Factor worthy, unlocks everything. Thank you, Russell. And they didn't even have Hollywood Brown yet, who's a major deep threat. Drop Benson for right, absolutely, Rag, abso-mother-freaking-lutely. And I love both of them. I'm not saying don't own both of them. I'm just saying in that situation. Rate my 10-man league, 7 pick. Saquon, Kyron, Allen, Debo, DK, McBride, AR5. I'd say this is a 7.9. I leave you improvement, and that improvement could be just that 80 Mitchell pops off or Corum gets into the lineup. I hope that doesn't happen. Or Chase Brown just becomes a monster, and then all of a sudden you're an 8.1 without even making a trade or a waiver wire move. But if you stay on top of waivers, if you maybe explore some sort of, I don't know, Mahomes for AR5 and let's say Chase Brown later, or Love an AR5, or 80 Mitchell or Dobbs goes off this week, and you're able to get Mahomes on the cheap after everybody plays, then your team goes to like 8.4, just getting Mahomes. Rate my team 10 PPR, or 10-man PPR. Kyler, Brees, JT, Cook, Rice, Devontae Smith, Ayuk, Dell. I'm trading James Cook and maybe, let's see, I love Raheem Mostert. Let's see here. Brooks. Maybe Brooks has some value. I think people understand the value Brooks holds. They don't need to see it. They understand it's coming. So Brooks and James Cook are tradable pieces here. So if it's Ayuk and Cook for one stronger monster like Kyron Achane type of player, or you go Brooks and Ayuk and you get maybe a Cooper Kupp, or right around Cooper Kupp's value, that to me puts your team over the top. Roxy, appreciate you. $10 WAD gets a...
Two Mars.
I meant to put a moonshot, but lucky you got a Mars shot. JD5, Kyron, Brees, London Cup, Kincaid, Dell, McLaurin, benches, Coleman. Like this team. This team's fantastic. Let it ride. Bench isn't strong enough to make any trades, to be honest with you. That's not a big knock because your team looks so good. You didn't get Corum. That's a huge mistake. But hopefully he gets cut or something. Maybe he doesn't get used in week 1 and then he gets cut. My advice is that if you don't think you can get him from that owner, don't say anything and just see if they'll cut him. If you inquire, they're not going to cut him. Just think about it. You're about to cut somebody and someone goes, hey, what do you want for Corum? You're going to be like, okay, I guess I'm not cutting him. So you got to be careful. Like you're leading of questions to a player to an owner that might not even trade, might have them holding onto a player they would have cut. But I don't know. It's a tough dilemma to try and trade for him or just wait for him to get cut. What about Brees and Pittman for my McCaffrey and Christian Watson? Not enough. I like the idea of what you're trying to do, but Pittman is not a big enough name for me. Drop one for a kicker. Polk, Fields, my QB's JD5. Yeah, but that sounds like Fields is your backup. And maybe Fields starts this week because Russ is hurt again. I'm going to drop probably Polk and keep... I'd probably drop Polk, I guess, because he's a rookie, but I do like him. I think Polk and Palmer are very close. Small bench, drop Warren for Wright. I can't condone that, Michael. I say Warren's too valuable. I like Wright. He's a league winner, but you got to find another way. That I just drop your kicker and then start working trades and then figure it out. Commish approved. Rockout, subscribe to the channel. Rockout, have you never been subscribed to the channel, pal? Commish approved Zeke for Nico. Bro, look, Kevin, there's no vetoing in my world. So, good for the commish, to be honest with you. But yeah, horrible trade. Take a lap. But your commish shouldn't be putting their nose in saying what should go through and what shouldn't. I think vetoes are the biggest bunch of crap. What trade should I do, Smith? Says Box of Juice. I don't know, Box. There's no team attached to this super chat. How the hell am I supposed to know? But Box, send me your team and I'll go over it. But yeah, definitely we can cook something up. Should I start BTJ or Shakir over Chase this week? If Jamar Chase sits, you're starting BT. I think it's a good call. But obviously, bro, if Aldi, I think some of these are old or something. I don't know what's going on with this. I think these are old. It says Rockout, subscribe to the channel. I don't know. It's weird. Okay, I'm gonna mute that for a second. Drizzle with another super chat. Should I start BT or Shakir over Chase this week? Oh, that's the one I just read. Look at the previous chats. Just dropped Bears for BTJ. I like that move on waivers. I think I'm in good shape still. You are. And if let's say Jamar doesn't play, I'm playing BTJ, but Jamar Chase will probably play. All right, let's see here. I don't know what's going on with my... Drizzle, appreciate you. Tony, no question, just wanted to say that this is the best fantasy football content on the net, and it's not even close. God bless from the fam, bro. Appreciate you, Tony, for dropping that amazing super chat. You absolutely rock. Box of Juice says, who do I start this week? Again, let me know what you got, Box of Juice, and then I can help you. Press the wrong button and then unsubscribed. I pressed the wrong. Are you kidding, Rockout, or were those delayed? Part of me wonders if those were delayed. I don't really know if my system was acting funky, or what. If it was like showing a bunch of, or if you actually did that. If you did, that's fine. I just want to know if you're just joking. All right, phone lines are open. The super chats are cleared, surprisingly. And it's now time to take your phone calls. So dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
I don't know how long we're going to be here. Did I answer this one? Vin, did I answer your question, bro? I hope I did. George from the Bay and Rockout are on the line, but Rockout gets priority, George. So mute yourself. And mute yourself, please. Rockout, what can I do for you, Rockout?
Yeah, I've been subscribed to you for over like 5 years.
Okay, so you're just joking. I don't know. It seems like it's having its moments of. I think it's caught up again, but it's having a weird freak out session.
I saw a button and it was like black, and for some reason I was like, wait a minute. I thought I was subscribed.
Oh, so you did do that. Okay, good. Then my system wasn't acting funky. We got 26,880 subscribers right now. If we get 20 more subscribers, we're at 26.9, and then we're 100 away from 27K, which we just got to 26K, so this is fantastic. We're growing huge. You guys are absolutely awesome. Corey says, do I start Mostert or Coleman? I'm going to go Mostert, but we're rooting for Coleman. I'm not going to lie. But, you know, to have that worthy type game. And then connect old message. What players should I trade for and who? Tate, you got to put it in the message, man, because then I have to go like searching for the old message, because by you know how many messages back it is. So definitely try and include it versus like here. I got it. Tate says 10-man PPR AR5, Saquon, Mixon, Adams, Neighbors, Godwin, Kittle. What players should I trade for and who? It's Mixon, and freaking Godwin, as I said, for Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith. If I name somebody you have, I'm just trying to list off names. Jacobs, Kyron, Achane, maybe even like Debo-esque players. But Godwin and Mixon for that one player is going to put your team on the map, bro. Like, you just need that monster. Jacobs comes to mind, Walker comes to mind, and of course the Kyron, Achane, JT Pacheco's, all those guys above. You get that done, bro, and we quit our jobs and we come work for you. Box of Juice says pick one of these 22-man, Watson or Puka Downs. Wait, what? Pick one of two PPR, 22-man. Watson, Puka Downs? Why would we, Box of Juice, why would we consider starting Watson or Downs over Puka? I'm even more confused on this message than the one where you didn't give me any names. I know,
banged up still.
But like, what would even make someone ask that question? Like, Box, don't get mad at me. Box, don't get mad at me. I love you, pal. I love you. You super chatted too. What? What, Rocka?
Sure about that one.
I don't know what just coming out of left field there. Puka Nakua. I mean, he was a little bit banged up, but it's not a thing, bro. This live stream, we've been live for, it'll be 2 hours exactly in 20 seconds. Rock up, mute yourself real quick while I'm talking. 2 hours exactly, we'll be live in 11 seconds. We've had 3,386 messages in the live chat. That is insane. 3,386 messages in the chat in 2 hours, in exactly 2 hours. That is wild. You guys are absolutely unreal. And then real quickly, Vindo, I don't know if I answered this question. Vin, are you there? I don't know if I answered this. Mahomes, Kyron, Devontae Smith, Marvin, Tank, Dell, Musgrave, Bench, Kyler. Love this team. I think I did. I think it said, look, it's like a 7.8. You're just waiting for guys to pop. I don't think you started Worthy because you're ranking Worthy so low. That sucks. That really sucks. But you got some trade bait. You got to get Worthy in the lineup. So that means maybe you're trading some 2-for-1s. You're doing like a Devontae Smith and Ford. Let Ford pop off. You're doing maybe a, I mean, I don't want you to trade Tank Dell or Devontae, but you kind of have to. Those are your weakest points. So definitely consider that. Okay, Rock Out, what can I do for you, bro?
Yeah, I'm trying to find some flyers as far as tight ends. Should I go for the Packers tight ends or the Commanders?
Packers or Commanders?
Like a backup.
Yeah, I probably say go with the Packers for now. I think until Sinnott gets in there, and he very well could. It's it's going to be something to where when Sinnott gets in there, it might be something to the tune of like Kincaid's rise last year, where it's taking some time. It could take some time, and I don't know that I would be very, very, expecting him to be the guy right away from the jump, Sinnott. Whereas Luke Musgrave, he's had a quiet offseason, but I don't think we should hold that against him.
Yeah.
But it could go either way. I'm afraid to say, don't go Sinnott yet, and then he does what Likely did, and then you can't get him, So, I don't know. I love both of them.
Right now I got Goddard.
Yeah. I mean, the truth of the matter is I love Musgrave, Likely, Ben Sinnott, and Goddard as all. They were all kind of my four go-get tight ends if you want to try and find the diamond in the rough. And boy, did Likely step up. And I don't think we could have had a stronger pre-week 1 waiver wire show. Just so people know, I got to put it on screen here. This was. Do you know when this was published, Travis? Can you look back when the waiver wire show was?
Yeah.
This is the pre-week 1 show. I just don't want people to think this is the.
No. It was days ago.
Yeah, but I want to say it was like 4 days. Was it 4? Sometimes it seems like it's longer, but
like 3 at the minimum.
Yeah, I think this was like Friday. Was it or Monday?
Yeah, probably Monday. It might have been Monday or Sunday.
Let me see. I think I might be able to find it. But anyway, I think I got it, Travis. Hold on 1 second.
I'm looking in the wrong place. It was not the one you did yesterday. What's it?
I don't know. I'll just put pre. I just put pre on it just so people know. So pre-week 1 show. But the thing is, like, so you're looking at this. I just want people to understand this is not coming out of week 1. This is pre-week 1. So you need to make sure that Wright, Ford, Chase Brown, Braylon Allen, Ray Davis, Mason and Garendo, these guys aren't on waivers and they make sense for your team. A.D. Mitchell, Dontavian Wicks, Yoshivas Burton, kind of a duo. Michael Wilson, Leggett, Dodson, Whittington, We got Fields, who could start week 1. Right now, we're not sure what Russell Wilson's status truly is. Bo Nix is going to go nuts. This rookie QB is going to be very impressive. Penix Jr. will be on the waiver wire until further notice. Taysom Hill until further notice. Musgrave likely is the top tight end. Should have grabbed him before week 1. Ben Sinnott's also there. Sanders, the rookie. Okonkwo's got some upside. So just know that you're looking at the things you should be doing before kickoff. Before kickoff.
So another thing you did too was a month ago. You did the top 10 fantasy tight ends, and you went over those guys. You know, Musgrave, likely.
I've got that.
It's all guys who could potentially get into that list. So.
Yeah, here.
Likely.
Here's the exact screen, untouched. So we got to tight end, 10 when we're talking about Goddard and Bowers, Kittle, Ingram, Ferguson. Andrews, unfortunately, is we'll put him as a small little peon. But when we talked about him, it was don't draft him here. This is his ranking. Avoid him. I remember talking about it. Avoid him because this guy likely is the guy. Likely, Jelani Woods went down with injury, so that's unfortunate, that he didn't end up doing anything. But Sinnott, likely, Musgrave, Goddard are all clumped right here, like outside top 10 running back or tight end rankings.
Yeah, and just to reiterate what likely, as long as that offensive line sucks, likely it's going to be the pass-catching tight end more often than not because Andrews is just blocking all the time.
Yeah. I'm even worried about they even said on the broadcast, they said likely, unfortunately, has to stay in and block even more than they want.
Yeah, he will
because the line's so putrid. Drop Jaleel McLaughlin for Ray Davis. I would, but you're going to see people say McLaughlin's worth starting right now, and he's I think it's a committee no matter what in Denver. And I think Ray Davis, while Davis is worth less right now, there's a greater chance he's the lone starter at some point. So this is kind of like an investment move if you're going to want to hold Davis over Jaleel McLaughlin. Mahomes, AJB, Debo, Dell, Kyron, Rashad White, Tank Dell, Mostert, Worthy. Worthy should be starting over Rashad White, and Mostert should be starting over Rashad White. So put in Mostert, put in Worthy next time. I'm fearful that you did not start Worthy this week. But the moves you should be making should be something along the lines of Rashad White before it's too late. For, I don't know. Rashad White for, you got Tank Dell. That would have been my go-to pick for you because he's undervalued. But I would say who's your quarterback's perfect? I don't know what you would probably want to say. Rashad White and maybe Ingram's good too. Pollard.
If you traded Rashad White, would Ridley and Chase Brown be enough?
Yeah, if you got both of them, I would take Ridley and Chase Brown. That's a good point. You could go for two players that are
something along those lines.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to find.
They perceive as lesser,
Yeah,
but they end up being worth more.
Yeah, and then you put he has Mostert, right? Oh, yeah. Oh no, he did. Does he have Mostert on his team? Yeah, Mostert. So Mostert's your running back too, but bro, I see Mostert on your team, Jason, but I don't see Jalen Wright. And that confuses me because we literally talk about how you cannot leave your draft. If you draft Mostert, you cannot leave it without Wright. You just can't. If you got to do a showdown with the person before they step out of the building, whatever the case may be. Same thing goes for Achane. Wright is the universal handcuff. And you need to so you need to either go get him using maybe Rashad White, but of course
Wright and a good receiver.
But of course you're not doing this straight up. You're not doing it straight up. You're using Wright as the anchor of the trade. And when you do an anchor trade, I always suggest you write it out. It makes it really, really nice and easy to understand. But you're taking two players. Those are the players you're receiving. You're trading Rashad White. And when you put the anchor into the formula, and you say, okay, I'm going to go after Jalen Wright, now you can know visually that this piece that you're going through their roster, comb through it, is got to be heavy because this is a very light piece right here. Wright does not hold a ton of value right now. Rachaad White holds way more value. So you have, I think you had Dell already, but what I would be looking for would be a Dell-esque player to go with Wright to potentially lock down Mostert and get yourself a receiver. Maybe it's a tight end upgrade. I think you had Evan Ingram, so maybe they've got Kincaid, and you're going to give them Kincaid, or you're going to get Kincaid and Wright and give them Everett or Ingram. And I like Ingram. I'm not saying Ingram's not good. I'm just saying this is the kind of move that I would consider making. But that's me. I think Wright is essential for your success, my guy. Especially if you move toward Mostert as your running back after trading Rachaad White. But Rachaad White for a receiver straight up, and then do something else small for Wright, or maybe Wright's on waivers. If you can do I'd do a full load drop on Wright if he's sitting on waivers. If you get Wright off waivers and you trade Rachaad White for a Tank Dell type player, that's even obviously better. 12-man PPR, Mahomes, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Devontae Smith, Gibbs, Ford, Musgrave, Javonte, Charbonnet, Brooks on IR. Need a new tight end or what? So your tight end's Musgrave. No, Musgrave hasn't played yet. He hasn't played yet. Like, what if you would come to me and said, do I need a new tight end? Likely hasn't played yet. You got to let it play out, Box of Juice. Musgrave's a good tight end. If Likely's out there, you better grab him. But I think your team's really good. I don't think I'm moving anything. Garrett Wilson, Rice, Devontae Smith, I love all that. Gibbs, Ford, Mahomes. The only thing I'd even contemplate is like Javonte or Brooks with maybe McLaurin for a Cooper Kupp, Debo Samuel, DK Metcalf-esque player. Or if it's a running back, it's obviously of the variety of Walker type value. Let me go over to Mark from Austin real quick. I think 2 other people hung up because I took too long. I'm sorry. Mark, what's up? You're live.
What's up? Yeah, I have a 10-man PPR. I have Lamar, Brees, Josh Jacobs, AJ, Nico, Dalton Schultz. That's where I'm weak. Joe Mixon. On the bench, I got Keenan Allen, Kirk Cousins, Cole Kmet, Roma Dunze, Adam Thielen, and DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay, so Mixon and Keenan Allen they stick out like a sore thumb to me. So Keenan Allen and Mixon for Walker, for all these players I keep spitting out. Cooper Kupp, just throw 10, 15 offers out there. I'm telling you, if you're doing good trades, if you're making good trade offers, you're going to get a 5% return on your trade offers. So if you offer 3 trades, you're not trading. If you offer 5 trades in a week's time and you come back and say, Smitty, no one's accepting offers, you're not trading. No one's accepting 1 out of 5 offers if you're sending good offers out there. So you're sending 20 offers out there, you're going to get maybe back 1 if you're lucky, a 5% return. So Keenan Allen and Mixon go through the gauntlet of players that qualify, from Cooper Kupp to MHJ, to Jacobs, to Walker. Just go through them all. Pacheco. Who's your quarterback?
Lamar.
I know he played fairly well. How many points did he score today for you in your format?
27.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think that's sustainable off of the way he had to play tonight? I don't think so, man. I don't know. I'd be very tempted to use one of these guys. I'd be tempted to trade one of these.
Offered me Josh Allen for Brees Hall.
No. Bro, let me ask you a question. Is it Superflex?
No.
Okay, so where did Brees Hall go? Top 5?
I have him at D1 at the moment with Josh Jacobs.
No, where did you draft him? Where did you draft him? Number 5, number 4, number 6?
No, I drafted him first pick
okay.
at number 7.
Okay, where did Josh Allen go?
Josh Allen went in the 3rd round,
Okay.
I believe.
Okay, so why would we even consider that? You know?
Well, yeah, I didn't, but, you know, he was saying the same thing as Lamar is not sustainable. Josh Allen's going to give you 40 every week, 30 every
Okay,
week.
but if I would say, well, then why didn't he go number 1 overall? Like, if this is a good trade. It's not a good trade. Mixon to upgrade.
Yeah,
he's trying to rake you over the coals. Mixon or Allen to upgrade, I would do. Mixon and Allen for one player, I would do. You got some work cut out for you. You got to trade these two before their values tank. And they could have a good week 1 or not. I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah. What do you think about tight end? I have Dalton Schultz. I'm not sure if I can also maybe survive for now, get a tight end. Look, I have Josh Jacobs and Breece Hall right now, and then A.J. Brown and Nico Collins. I feel like that's a pretty good solid 4 right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with Schultz there, I guess, for 1 week and see how it goes. He's a good player. He was on the Moon Man list, 2 years ago or whatever. But check
in it if he's around.
Yeah, check the waiver. Make sure these preemptive week one show. Make sure these players aren't out there. You know, take a look at it. Is likely on waivers? I hate to ask.
I think he actually is a free agent, maybe.
So why are you asking me about?
But he's now going to be on waivers. Like nobody has him until now.
I know, but you're asking me about Schultz right now. You think I need to upgrade? Likely sitting there.
Yeah.
You got to go get him, pal. You got to go get him. This might be a full load drop situation for you in particular.
Yeah, I'm looking for Sam Laporta as well. Maybe trading him if it's not upgrade using Keenan Allen and Mixon.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. All right, Mike, come back when you got something cooking, and we'll let you know. All right, later, pal. Good. Mark from Austin. Oh, that was Mark, and I hung up on the other guy. Oh, damn it.
Oh, what happened?
Sorry, bro. Call back whoever I hung up on. Travis, I don't know if you actually talked yet. Go ahead. I mean, I know you chimed in on something, but.
Well, I had a question. Whoever just asked a question.
Yeah.
Right now? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, with that last guy though, I don't want him getting too scared on Lamar and doing a trade like you mentioned. Like he's still a good quarterback. It's just a risk. So if you can upgrade to that top guy, fine.
Yeah, that doesn't compute. Like the fact that people are like, listen to the words coming out. Let me go back to the panic chamber board. It's head scratching to me. Head scratching to me that people hear what they hear. Lamar Jackson's in the panic chamber. Make no mistake about it. And I saw your question, Jolts. He's like, why are we trading Lamar? What, WTF? I see everything. Jolts, don't think I don't see your comment. I see it. What do you not understand about that this guy is going to break? He's weighing 10 pounds less than he did, putting the entire team on his back and trying to run around and get smashed over and over and over. Lamar should not be in the panic chamber 100%. He is. He's in the panic chamber, Jolts. He's absolutely in the panic chamber, and I'm closing the door. If it'll close. It's stuck.
It's stuck.
You are in the panic chamber.
Absolutely. Let's do that, I guess. Close it twice, Jolts.
You are in the panic chamber.
Go.
Lamar, not panic. What's confusing about Lamar in the panic chamber right now? Did you watch the game, Jolts? Did you watch the game where he's got probably the worst offensive line in the National Football League? Did you watch the game where he literally was overthrowing players, and while he did everything he could to try and win the game, aside from those misconnections or whatever, he literally was getting blasted, and he's having to run for his life, and he weighs 10 pounds less than he did last year. You think he's going to stay healthy doing that? You bet your bottom dollar he's in the panic chamber.
And that's why he could be missing big throws at the end of games too. If you're getting the crap kicked out of you, you might not be as on point as you are. I know sometimes he has a little trouble hitting throws here and there, but you're getting knocked around the whole game, and then you expect to be pinpoint on a 2-minute drill. It's not going to happen all the time.
Yeah.
So, like that can hurt in scoring too.
Yeah, it's wild to me. And of course, you know, the Lamar fans and Lamar owners are going to come in here and defend it. Like, of course they're in the chat saying, why would we want to trade? He's my quarterback. Like, you can say whatever you want. You can't objectively look at this stuff and say, there's concern here with the Baltimore Ravens. There's some major concern here for the Baltimore Ravens.
Kenneth Walker was a perfect example last year of why you would consider trading guys that are very good, but you look at the whole situation, and if you can make your team better, you're not saying give them away. If you can make them better, you might think about making a move. I think that's all you're trying to say. You're not saying just throw them away, you know?
Yeah, before you ask your question, let me answer these two real quick. Start Musgrave, Conklin, or Sinnott. You're going to go Musgrave this week. There's not enough there yet for the other pieces to be in a lineup yet, but we're watching them, we're stashing, we're looking, we're waiting. Rate this 12-man team: two wide receiver, 2 flex. Hurts, Javonte, Mostert, Garrett Wilson, Puka, Rice, Waddle, Kincaid, Ford. Very solid team. Put Ford in there over Javonte and roll it out there in week 1. Past that, like, I think you wait it out. You got a really good team, and to be honest with you, Ford, Mostert, and Wright are pretty formidable, crafty running back room, so I kind of waited out on that CMC. I like the team a lot. It seems like a weak running back stable, but I think Mostert and Wright are great, and you're starting Mostert, and I think you put Ford in over Javonte without a hesitation. I don't know why Ford's on your bench. He's an absolute breakout. Go ahead, Travis, and ask your question.
So with Worthy, like in the one league I have him in, I have Rice and Worthy, which obviously I really like to have because that kind of, you know, gives you a little cushion in case one got hurt. You got the other one on top of everything. And but in terms of selling high on Worthy, right now, do you have to like treat him like a top 15 wide receiver for the moment? I'm not saying that's going to stick, couldn't. Like, what are you looking to do in terms of sell high? Because I don't really want to move him, but I know it's in my home league where there's a few kids from that watch the show, a few of us in there, and then a few home league people, you know, more casuals, and there's always 1 or 2 people who like have to have the guy at the moment, you know, so they'll throw out a crazy offer or be willing to hit accept quick on something crazy. So just kind of, how do you play that situation?
How do you play, like, what players are you thinking you could trade Worthy for?
I guess that's my question is, like, where do you, like...
Can you give me, like, a couple names, and maybe that's their starting point? Because, like, would I trade him for DK? Like, honestly, could Worthy be as good as DK this year? The answer is he could. He really could.
Well, as of this moment, I wouldn't do that, you know? So, like, I guess what I'm asking is, like, it really has to be a blow you away type of offer, or if you're making an offer, it's got to be almost kind of crazy.
I don't know what I would say. I think, you know, I haven't had time to even digest this. Like, if someone came to me and said, I'll give you Kenneth Walker for Xavier Worthy, but I didn't quite need the RB, you know, like I had someone like Mostert and Wright in my running back spot, I don't think I could do it.
Right.
But if I, let's say, had a surplus of wide receivers and like either Tank Dell or Worthy's going on my bench each week, then I could definitely trade for Walker in that scenario. But I think it's case by case.
What if it could take you from like a Barkley or a Gibbs or a JT up to like a Bijan or a Hall? Is that even enough of a jump?
If I could go, if I could send Barkley and Worthy for Bijan or Hall, I think I would probably do that. If again, I'm in a situation where I've got like a Tank Dell or, you know, something that can go in my lineup. But would I?
Without leaving a hole.
Yeah. So let me write this bigger because so Barkley and Worthy for Bijan. Like easy. Easy. But I could see myself saying no to like, I mean, it's tough. Like let's use a wide receiver example. Let's say it's Debo. Like, what do I think it moving Debo up to a St. Brown is worth throwing Worthy in? Like something like that. That's where I think I'm like, I don't think so. I think Worthy's that valuable.
Really? Wow.
I think if I could move it into Lamb, sure. But that's the same question with like Bijan. Like Barkley and Debo, in my opinion, have very similar value at their position in a way. Like I like Debo, and if you don't want to use that, use MHJ. So like MHJ and Barkley are going around the same territory. So MHJ plus Worthy for a St. Brown doesn't make much sense to me unless I've got Dell on the bench or something. But then if I don't, like, would I take a Lamb chops? Yes, I'd probably take Lamb maybe. But that's still tough. It's still tough. He's this much of an enigma right now that we don't know what he is. And I think we're hours from what he just did, and we're in week 1 only. Hollywood's still coming back. So there's a lot of unknowns, but I think if you don't value Worthy as a 4th round player right now, you're a Worthy hater. If you don't think he's capable of being as good as, honestly, like a Walker straight up, then you're a hater on Xavier Worthy, and that's fine. But that's where he is.
So are you, like, would you say, again, like you said, we're hours off his first game. So things can change, things will change one way or another. But he's then in that 10 to 15 range, 10 to 18 range of a wide receiver right this instant in terms of value.
Yeah, he's got to be.
So what? Last one I'll ask you is, like, what if you could get to like Chase? Someone worried about Chase.
Worthy and what for Chase?
You take that leap.
Worthy and what?
Yeah, that's the tough part. What if you had Worthy and Olave?
Give me Chase.
Okay.
But that's right now.
Worthy in London. That's the last one I'll ask you.
I'd rather have London and Worthy.
Okay. All right.
But Lamb's different. Lamb's different. Lamb and Hill are different. I think it becomes kind of a tough call. But yeah, I don't know. John says I missed
this. This is pretty much talking redraft, right? Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Like, this year. Okay.
John, you said I missed your super chat. I don't think so, bro. CMC. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. John, is it this one? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I pulled it up and didn't read it. CMC news and effects Debo, Ayuk, etc. There's no real CMC news right now other than that he's. This is. Did I answer all these? Aldi, did I get to yours? Oh, here's the page where they are. Aldi and Durf Boy, you guys still here? That's hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious because you've been waiting on it, but this is where I put your message, John, on this CMC breaking news page to break it down, and then I didn't get to it, and I switched pages. Damn it. Aldi and Durf, are you still here? So, CMC, this news report here, everyone's been talking about his calf injury, not a calf/Achilles, and keep in mind that a calf and Achilles, that's your calf turns into your Achilles. So if you have a lower calf injury, it can be described as a Achilles calf injury. And there's very, very, very much Aldi's here. Thank you, Aldi. Appreciate it. I'm sorry, bro. There's very, very much concern for the Achilles at this point. And we didn't really fully know where the calf injury was. He's older. What's the formula for an Achilles tear? Running backs Okay, and you can be young like Cam Akers, but also age. Wear and tear on the Achilles over a long period of time puts the Achilles in a vulnerable spot. The Achilles is different than like the ACL, where the ACL, you're kind of snapping the ACL on pure force. Like the running back's cutting, a helmet hits the side of his knee, and then the knee, instead of bending like this, right, bends this way. And you can see this is the LCL, this is the MCL over here. You can see the MCL stretching and tearing. The meniscus is right here, pinching the meniscus and tearing. And then the ACL and PCL you can see on the back of the model, but it's in the center of the knee. That's when it snaps, right? The Achilles is different in the heel area. The Achilles, it's something that, like, you're wearing that down over time. Sometimes the way people step and behave and run is putting the Achilles in very vulnerable spots, and it just the wrong burst in a worn and worn down Achilles in the wrong, like just like when Greenlaw ran out onto the field during the Super Bowl, he was running out onto the field, but his foot, heel toe, constant misuse of the Achilles, constant compensation, using the Achilles in your calf to compensate for knee issues or the way you're running. And so CMC's 28 years old with a big injury history, an injury history that took him out for 2 straight years the last time he was fed the kind of volume that Shanahan just fed him last season. So there is major concern. However, there's nothing out there that's saying that he's anything more than limited from the same calf injury that he's already been deemed to be ready and good to go off of. Did he have a setback? We don't really know. But it does look like McCaffrey is limited, and that's all we have. And people are jumping to a lot of conclusions right now, and I can't tell you that there's any update because there's none. So we're just kind of waiting. My guess is that he's fine to play. Unless there's some sort of setback they're not telling us about. But at this stage in the game, there's nothing really to go on. And you just have a bunch of people freaking out. And we're just going to have to take it by day to day. But right now, if I pull up Christian McCaffrey, let me pull up Christian McCaffrey news and just see if there's anything else lingering at all. I'm going to comb through a bunch right now. Limited Thursday. The report says that this is the first practice of the week for the 49ers. This is the first practice of the week for the 49ers, who faced the Jets on Monday night. McCaffrey didn't take preseason snaps due to the calf strain, and he suffered early in August and is clearly still working through things. Playing through the calf or Achilles injuries always seems risky, so we'll see how things go for CMC throughout the week. This is a speculative write-up on the news, the only news we have, the very, very tight ship, closed lips, tight ship situation over in San Francisco, the way it always is. He sat out, was limited with Thursday's practice. That's all we have. So the question is, how does it affect Debo Ayuk? There's nothing to go on right now. If CMC went down, Debo would go to the moon. If CMC went down, Ayuk would get an uptick in volume, but Debo specifically would be used, I think, running the ball a ton more than normal, which could put him at injury risk territory. But I think the key here for everybody that has CMC, trade him if you can get the right deal, but don't panic and just get rid of him for pennies on the dollar, because he might be fine for week 1. So what you need to do is make sure you have Mason and Garendo. And if you can't roster all 3, then you shouldn't have drafted Christian McCaffrey to begin with. If your league allows for 4 running back spots and that's it, you shouldn't have drafted an injured player like McCaffrey that's 28 years old. He requires a little extra care and special catering to. You need the trio. Because if he goes down, you're getting top 12, top 10, top 8 running back production out of Mason or out of Garendo. Because you need both of them. You absolutely need both of them. So it's a good question. I appreciate you asking it. And then in Aldi's super chat, I'm so sorry, Aldi, for the wait. 10-man, Mahomes, JD5, DK Rice, Devontae Smith, Dell, Dobbs. I'm coming for you, D-Money, after I help out. I think it's Mike from Houston, who I hung up on earlier. I've got Balake on the line and Jason. Guys, please hang tight for me real quick. and then Travis might still have a question first, but I'm going straight for Mike from Houston. JD5, Rice, Devontae Smith, Dell, Dobbs, Bijan, HM, Mostert, Wright. You got Wright. Smart move. Chase Brown, Kittle, very good team. The only thing I'm looking to do if I'm you, bro, is upgrade. You got Mahomes, which is fantastic, Aldi. I'm telling you, don't freak out on today's game. Don't freak out. Probably going to trade maybe Devontae Smith if the price is right. Devontae Smith, you got Bijan, HN. I'm waiting. Let DK, Devontae Smith go and do their thing. Let Mostert and Wright go and do their thing as a separate, compartmentalized RB. Wright and Mostert together. And then maybe you've got a Dell and Mostert Wright trade, or a Devontae Smith. And honestly, you got the got HN too, so why even make that trade? No, I'm gonna say never mind. I'm sorry. Stand down. Stand down. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do a single thing. Let this team ride. Let's see what these values are. Let's let Chase Brown gain some value. Let's let Kittle go out there and do his thing. Maybe the most you do is you trade like a Chase Brown if he turns into something special, which he very well could. Chase Brown and DK into one slight wide receiver upgrade. Chase Brown and Devontae into one slight upgrade, or Chase Brown and Dell into one slight wide receiver upgrade. That's it. I don't want you to trade the rest of this team. Bijan, HN, I want you to keep the Miami Dolphin running backs because you can start Bijan, HN, and Mostert, or Bijan, HN, Wright every single week. And honestly, I can't sit Mostert. I can't sit Mostert. You got to start HN and Mostert together. They both can go nuts in any given week. And Durf, did Durf say he was here? Durf, appreciate you. Durf says drop Dowdle for Mason if so CMC owner doesn't get him. I don't know if I play that game, like where you're trying to... I would probably drop my kicker and have both of them and try and make a trade. But Dowdle's a starter, Mason's not. So Dowdle does have more value. So be careful there. I would say in general, no. Dowdle is probably your better pickup, I assume, because CMC's not out for the year or something. But I kind of like the idea of dropping your kicker or your defense, holding both of them and working the trades all weekend, bro. All weekend. Okay, go ahead, Travis, real quick, and then I'm going to go over to, I think it was Mike.
Yeah, so do you like Dell over Worthy still? Like, would you trade Dell over Worthy? Do you like him over Worthy? I had someone asking me that.
I'm starting Worthy over Dell right now.
What about, like, if you could trade straight up?
I'd rather have Worthy right now.
One for the other.
And that's saying a lot because I love Tank Dell. I love Tank Dell, but Worthy's in a special situation. It's a combination of talent meets Mahomes, meets Andy Reid, meets speed, and meets a raw
perfect storm.
A raw talent that it doesn't matter that he's making mistakes, or they're not going to penalize him for it. Whereas I think any other situation, he would be kind of not moved on from, but like not cultivated fast. They're going to throw his feet to the fire. So it's a tough call for me, and I love Tank Dell. And quite honestly, I mean, the Wild Wild West, I mean, we got, I just want people to know this is not a knock on Tank Dell. I mean, kind of a hurtful thing to even ask me. It's like asking me, choose one of your children. I mean, Dell's a top 10 most wanted outlaw. So are Rice and Worthy. So it's like, it's a tough question. So.
Yeah, that was actually Southwest was asking me that question.
Well, it was offensive. It was offensive, and I don't appreciate it, Southwest, for putting me in that position.
And just real quick, I don't know, maybe I missed it if you covered it. Did you see the thing about Hopkins? It was his MCL that he tore.
Yeah.
Ended up being an injury. Does that really matter to you, or just enough time's gone by that it's probably healed, and once he gets on the field, it should be okay?
MCLs you feel for a while. It depends on the grade.
Yeah, I guess my question is, does it change anything that we were already worried about with him.
He's already a total avoid, and I think Ridley's going to get volume, and
Right.
Hopkins is going to get hurt, or he's going to be ineffective. He's going to drop off. We're going to see what happened to Julio Jones that final year where Julio was nothing, and everyone's like, he's going to do it. He's going to come back. Julio's going to do it one more time,
Right.
and Julio was dog water. That's what Hopkins is likely looking at this year, in my opinion. And if he plays well per game, it's that he's going to get hurt, though. It's one or the other. All right, hold on. Let me go to Mike real quick. Mike, you're live. Sorry about the wait, bro. You've waited for like 8 hours. What's up?
It's okay. Hey, Smitty, I had a quick question. So I fell into the Rashad White trap, and I was wondering if this trade sounds good to you. I'm trying to trade him right now, and this is a trade. So it's Rashad White and MHJ. Mind you, I'm in like a PPR, full PPR 18 league. It's Rashad White, MHJ for Josh Jacobs, Cooper Kupp, and Tank Dell.
Jacobs, Kupp, and Dell. I'd take Kupp, Dell, and Jacobs in a millisecond, bro. That's a smash. Like, let me paint it this way: Jacobs over White by a country mile, and Cooper Kupp and MHJ are so close. I don't even know which one is better. And you get Tank Dell for free.
Keep an eye on Marshall Morris as the season goes on.
Call the veto police on that one, bro. All right, great trade, Mike.
Sure.
Great trade.
Appreciate it.
Call back or send a message if it's official. Or can you hit the button right now? Or are you sending it? And this is just your idea that he's going to reject.
We already kind of agreed to it, but I'm gonna send it.
All right, send it. Yeah, hopefully he accepts it, man. I hope he doesn't get advice on it because someone's going to tell him not to do it.
Yeah, someone might see the Rashad White news and back out. I hope not.
Yeah. All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, appreciate it.
Oh, man, that's a trade right there. That's a massive trade right there. And then this right here, I got these super chats. Henry looked washed. Stash Keaton Mitchell on IR. Absolutely, stash Keaton Mitchell because you can pick him up, IR spot him, and then like drop your kicker, IR spot him, pick up your kicker. Again, or another kicker, and then if wait a day and then pick up your old kicker with your new kicker you picked up or whatever. But you definitely got to cycle through Mitchell onto your IR spot. However, Hill looks like he's got the job, but if Henry went down, you would definitely see a Keaton Mitchell Hill like split because Keaton Mitchell is explosive and he looked so good last year, but he's coming off an ACL tear. So it's not like, he will look exactly the same, but he's a smaller guy, and smaller guys typically with less weight on the leg, they can get over the ACL tear quicker. This is a $20 hauler from Gavin dropping wads.
Super chat alert.
I don't know where that dollar went. I shot the dollar. It went up into the ceiling somewhere and it didn't come down. I don't know where half these dollars are going. Someone dropped and they're not they're actually $100 haulers actually. Someone dropped Brooks. How much fab is he worth considering Zamir and Ramondre are my starters? Very, very, very much worth maybe a full load drop, I would say. Because if Jonathan Brooks becomes a free agent in any of my leagues, if I picture that, I'm racing to the waiver wire. And I'm a little bit apprehensive about dropping all my money and not having a chance at that next player. But that is probably one of the best running back opportunities you'll see all year. So I'm going to say full load drop. I'd love to know what the chat thinks. Jonathan Brooks can't play for the first handful of games, obviously. But once he gets back and they ease him in, maybe week 8, week 7, maybe he's starting. I could see week 8 being the kind of safe space for him to be kind of unlocked. Week 8, midseason. But I'd probably say full load drop.
Initiate full load
drop. Yeah, just be patient because it could be a couple weeks. Like until he ramps up all the way.
Yeah, that's good. What running back could I get for Waddle plus Ramondre? Jacobs, I would say. Waddle and Ramondre for Jacobs, Waddle and Zamir for Jacobs. I'd obviously go after Walker. Kenneth Walker is a absolute superstar. Maybe in the making. D-Money, I'm sorry. D-Money, call back and I'll help you right away. I know I had you on hold for a while. Is trading Debo worth it? when you have Worthy. I can send a team again if needed. I don't know what you mean, like trading Debo worth it if you have Worthy. Like Debo for an RB, you mean? So like Debo and Ramondre? I would say, yeah, you'd have to get somebody like Kyron, H.N., Barkley, JT, though, because Debo is borderline 2-3 turn. So you need a 2-3 turn RB, especially if you're throwing in a Ramondre or Zamir. I'd throw one in, like almost for free to get the wide receiver running back swap. Like if I'm getting a H.N. or Kyron, and you could argue, some people would argue that Debo and H.N. or Debo and Kyron have similar value. I'm throwing Ramondre or Zamir in for free to get it done, like without a hesitation. So if that doesn't answer your question, let me know further. $10 Smitty, the GOAT. No, you're the GOAT, Elijah. Full PPR. Baker's your QB. What are we doing here? What are we doing? That's the first time I've seen all year long someone's starting quarterback, even in a 14-teamer, is Baker Mayfield. That's the first time I've seen that. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm sorry, Elijah. Bijan, Mostert, Benson, Dowdle, Olave, Debo, Higgins, Reed, and Jigba. Tight end Kincaid, are you cooked? Like, my question would have been, like, what made you continue to punt QB? Like, you can't say they kept getting snags, Smitty. No. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't know how in the hell you continue to punt quarterback over and over. And it was like you were in the ring just taking punch after punch. Boom. He won't go down. Boom. This guy will not go down. Iron steel jaw. Steel jaw Elijah. Like, what are we doing? Who's on waivers? There's got to be a better QB on waivers than Baker Mayfield. And I know the Baker lovers are going to come in here and say Baker's going to bake. What? He's not that bad. Baker's not that bad, Smitty. You're not winning a championship with Baker Mayfield as your QB. So this was a big misstep. But in that, bro, I think you got opportunities. Go to a team. If you're letting people scoop up QBs like you were, someone's got two. I can promise you that. So you go to the person that has Kyler and JD5. You offer them Baker and Dowdle, and you try and get yourself into a QB, a better QB. Bijan and Mostert will suffice. You should have grabbed Jalen Wright. That was almost as big of a misstep. Getting Mostert without Wright in this situation especially. In a 14 and 16 man league, probably one of the craftiest running back twos you could ever come across in a 14-team league is Mostert and Wright together. So that was a misstep, but those are fixable things. Olave, Debo, Higgins, 14-teamer, Bijan, Mostert with Wright, Debo, like this Kincaid. You get yourself a QB upgrade, and you could take this thing from like a 6.5 is where I'd give it, because of the few like obvious missteps there, to like a 7-9 with those two moves, with getting somehow, some way getting Right and then upgrading your QB. That would be awesome without diminishing the starters. And thoughts on Hollywood when he comes back? He's going to be good. He's going to be good. I mean, Mahomes is going to, like I said, throw 3 TDs a game practically, so they're all going to have a chance to eat. I think people thinking Mahomes is going to struggle. It's amazing. And I'm buying low at every turn. 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Love, Saquon, Bijan, London, Devontae Smith, Higgins, Ingram, Bench, Worthy, Coleman, Watson, McCaffrey, Mooney, Musgrave likely on waivers. What can I do? How can I scream it any louder? Why is likely on waivers? I would say with Bijan, Saquon, London, Devontae Smith, Higgins, you really got a strong team. Sucks Worthy's on your bench. That's a kick to the gut. I would be tempted to trade Higgins and maybe Love away for 1 quarterback upgrade and put Worthy in your lineup, but you don't necessarily need to make any moves. You got Jaden Daniels. Love. I don't know. Love Jaden Daniels. Those are two very good quarterbacks. Maybe you just hold out, bro. You know, Saquon and Higgins for like. I don't even know that I want to. Like, I want like a Gibbs. I want a Breece Hall. I don't know. Saquon and Higgins for Breece Hall and something. I don't know if I necessarily need to do it straight up. Your team's so good. I don't know that there's anything to do but ride this into the week 1 setting and see what's what when you come out the other side. Go get Likely. Make sure you pick him up. Hopefully Gus Edwards scores a touchdown. Hopefully Watson looks good. Hopefully Devontae Smith, Higgins both do well, and Saquon, so you have options to buy low. Because maybe a Gibbs goes out and has 40 yards. And then we're like coming back to the drawing board and saying, let's send Saquon for Gibbs. What can we give up? Well, hey, Smitty, Watson had 100 yards and a touchdown. So now you can trade Christian Watson in that. Like, I think you're waiting, Fid. I don't think I would mess with this team until after week 1. Some teams just, it's bad advice to tell you to trade because the values are going to go up with the players, I think, or you're selling them low. Traded Warren and Devontae Smith for Pacheco last night. I think that could go either way. I don't think you necessarily smashed it. I think that Warren's got some crafty value we haven't seen yet, and Devontae Smith and Pacheco are kind of close. So I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's necessarily a smash. $5 hauler from Lopez. Suggestions on this team: Stroud, Cup, Waddle, Dell, Bijan, Moss, Pitts, Worthy. Benches, McConkey, Benson, Irving. You don't have anything on the bench to trade. And Stroud, Cup, Waddle, Dell, Bijan, Zach. Yeah, this is a hold. There's nothing to do here. Glad Worthy's not on your bench. I'll tell you that. But let's wait and see what happens. There's nothing you can trade. Unless you're trading Bijan on the high, and I'm not doing that. And Cup's going to gain value. Waddle, you can't really get what I think you might get if he goes off. And while I would contemplate trading him, but like for what? You know, this is a good trade. This is a good hold right now. Trade later, hold now. Smitty 2, fold question. Dropping Sinnott, 2 full question. Who are you dropping for Sinnott? Benson, Ford, Warren. You can't drop Ford. You can't. Fonz. Ford is on the Moon Man list. Benson is. I can't drop Benson either. Warren, can't drop Warren. 80 Mitchell, BT. I'm not dropping any of these guys. I like Sinnott, bro. But you can't stash Sinnott. Stash Benson or Wright. You probably have to stash Wright. But I'm not dropping anybody. I like Sinnott, but I'm not dropping anybody that you've listed for Sinnott. I can't. I love Sinnott. You got to watch him then, monitor him, but you can't make those drops. Those would be reckless moves. But Wright, definitely you need to grab Wright. Wright is a must. Wright is a league winner. Okay, let me go over to Valake, then over to Jason, then over to Risky Rogers, then back to Travis. And Rockout, did you have anything real quick, Rockout?
Yeah, you say you would probably go Musgrave over center, right?
For now, yeah. Musgrave over Sinnott for now. I mean,
and after you finish those callers, check my DM.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you, Rockout. Appreciate you. Okay, let me go over to Balake. Balake, you're live.
Yeah, watching Pacheco tonight, I kind of felt like he's going against a tough defense, of course, but I'm fearful that Carson Steele and T. Ryan are going to take away some of his timeshare. Is this a guy you're looking to keep as your 3-down back? Do you agree with me that these guys are going to bite into his timeshare over time? And I know you did a bit on this about Carson Steele, so I imagine you think that's maybe the direction this will head, but I wanted to get your opinion.
Well, I feel a couple different ways at the same time. And as Sesame Street told some of us when we were younger, it's okay to feel 2 different feelings at the same time. Pacheco is he on the Moon Man or Mars? Let me see.
The Moon Man, dropping loads and he's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
Pop. So, bro, this guy's on the Mars Man list. He's a
dropping and spinning aimlessly.
He's a league winner. And I said at the top of the show, I do worry a little bit about the potential volume or the injuries or one of the two, like for sure is on my mind. But at the same time, if you can cuff Steele to him, P. Ryan and Steele are kind of available in mixed bag, whether they're available in your league. These are very attainable guys for the most part. If you cuff it up, you should be good. If you don't have it cuffed up at all, there is some risk, but I don't know that you're going to get what you want. Maybe you will because he scored, but he's in a potent offense. It was a tough matchup, and I think in a worst case scenario, he's getting 15 carries or 12 carries and 6 receptions or 15 carries and 4 receptions. Like, you're talking about like 20 opportunities between that each week, and that's enough. I'm not really worried. I'm only worried about him getting hurt. And that's why, Steele does become, and P. Ryan, a conversation piece here, but I don't think I'm trading him in some panic, but I'm open-minded to, like, what are you getting? Like, what are you even considering going to get?
I haven't really thought about that, to be completely honest. I might do an even exchange for a back at this point.
Well,
I might go
Jacobs,
slightly lower.
Walker, Jacobs.
And take like a Jacobs, for example. Like a Jacobs.
That's a moon man. That's a Mars man, I think, actually. Jacobs, Walker. Walker's a moon man. So you're going after moon man and Mars man. I'm fine with that. Jacobs or Walker. Safer, maybe. But Pacheco could be as good as Jacobs or better. Pacheco could be as good as Walker or better. Walker could be better than Jacobs. Walker could be the best one of them all. I really like Walker right now. I love what I'm hearing. Make sure you cuff him if you can. But Ryan Grubb seems to think he's a 3-down back. We're hearing nothing but positive things out of Seattle. And there's a good chance that Walker is literally a top 6 to 10 running back this year. There's a good chance Jacobs is a top 6 to 10 running back. And there's a good chance that Pacheco is. So do I think all three will be? Probably not. Okay. But you're just talking about swapping out studs with different risk. In different, like Walker's got situational risk. Jacobs has injury risk because of the workload he's had over the years. And he did look inefficient at the end last year. But, so was Zamir. Zamir wasn't ultra efficient over an LV. I think people remember that his numbers were better than they were. We're excited about Zamir in some ways, but you look at Zamir's game log and it wasn't like he was a top 10 running back for strings of games at all. He's outside the top 10 running backs almost every week. So it's like, Zamir didn't exactly blow up. I think Jacobs is going to be phenomenal in Green Bay. Could be top 6 running back material. Walker could be top 6. Pacheco could be top 4, but he could also be hurt and injured and has a little more injury risk. So you're balancing the different risk levels. They're all risky. They're all huge upside. All right, Block A. Good luck.
Got it. I've got it. All right, fine. Yep, Lair, thank you.
Yeah, come back with your trade offer. Let me go to D Money real quick. D Money, as fast as you can, pal.
Hey, Smitty, how's it going?
I'm good, bro.
So my is I'm in a 10-man PPR league, and I got some of the players on waiver wire like Wright, Braylon Allen, and I got Corn, but there ain't nobody trying to trade, so I can try to just send like a double up, so I can try to pick them up off waivers before the game starts. So I don't think I have nobody I can drop on my team right now. So I'm just trying to figure it out.
So you want to pick up Wright? Is that what you're saying?
I want to pick up. Well, I got Brees Hall, but I want to either pick up Braylon Allen or Blake Corum.
Oh, I thought you said Wright. Okay.
Yeah, he's out there too. He's on the waiver wire too. But I'd rather have Blake Corum or Jalen Wright.
I think Wright is the better option.
Okay.
I mean, you got to look at the board.
I just don't. I'm trying to figure out who can because nobody in my league is trading. I don't try to trade everybody, so everybody want to wait till after week 1.
Yeah, bro. Here's my pre-week 1 waiver wire show. Pre-week 1 waiver wire show. And I went over all this. I'm not saying you saw it, but you got to go back and watch it if you missed it. These players need to be grabbed before week 1 kicks off. It's too late for Likely. That ship has sailed. He might be out there. You're going to have to spend a lot of money on him, but he's still worth it. But he should have been grabbed. And you're asking me if you should pick up Braylon Allen or Wright. And on this board, Braylon Allen is definitely on it. He's 4th. He's a league winner potentially. I love grabbing him. I'm not saying don't make room for Braylon Allen and Wright, but Wright's on top of this board. Ford and Wright are probably tied. I'm not touching it because I don't want to move it and manipulate it. This is pre-week 1. I'd almost say that Ford and Wright should be side by side. But Wright is a league winner, bro. League winner. Could be a top 10 running back this year, even if you're not saying game started. Like, he literally could be a top 10 running back even if he doesn't start for 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. They might still use him. He's so electric, he might have those 50, 60-yard touchdown runs. And if one of these running backs goes down in Miami, he's going to the mother freaking moon. So,
all right, I understand. I don't watch I watch the show every day.
Yeah, okay.
But the thing is, I just don't think I have nobody on my team I can drop.
All right, give me your worst 4 players. Worst 4.
The worst 4, either Brian Robinson Jr., Chase Daniels, Trey Benson, and maybe Keelan Coleman. Maybe them the only 4.
Chase Daniels. You mean Jaden Daniels?
I mean Chase Brown. I'm sorry. I got both of them. I got Jaden Daniels and Chase Brown.
Honestly, bro, drop your kicker, pick up Wright, and try and make a 2-for-1
He already
trade.
played. I got Tucker. He played tonight.
Well, that was a misstep. Okay, who's your tight end or who's your defense?
The Eagles.
Okay, probably drop the Eagles, bro. You could probably pick them back up. Drop the Eagles. And as long as you think you can get another decent defense, but drop the Eagles, pick up Wright, and start working 2-for-1 trades.
Okay.
There's just no excuse for leaving Wright out there, letting someone else scoop him up. And you got to figure it out doing a 2-for-1. I don't know what it is yet. We'll cook that up maybe tomorrow. But I would do that right now. All right, bro. Later. Let's see here. Let me go over to... Let me get these super chats out of the way, and then I'll go right back to the phone line. David with the super chat, nothing attached. We got 4,054 messages in this show, a 3-hour show. We just crossed the 3-hour mark. We got 26,892 subscribers. Just got another one. 26,893 subscribers. We're 7 subscribers away from 26,000.9.
Wow.
So hit that. We've gained almost 100. What?
I was just saying, it's like a message every 2 seconds in the chat.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Flying.
That is crazy. And that's almost 100 subscribers on this very live stream while we've been live. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
David, I don't know, David, you guys got to include your message in your super chat. I know some people say, well, it won't fit. Well, that's why they make the spacing open up. The higher the amount that you super chat, the more space they give you. People are like, I sent a 199 and here's a novel. It's attached. See Exhibit A, attachment, and addendum 4. David Vasquez, appreciate you dropping your squad here. Smitty, full PPR, Hurts, CMC, Mostert, Diggs, Devontae Smith, Higgins, Goddard, Godwin. I'm trading Godwin. Every time I see Godwin's face, I'm sorry. I know this offends some of you Godwin owners, but it is what it is. Okay, there's some players I just want to trade and get rid of. Just like I didn't want Andrews on my team. Just like I don't want Mixon on my team. Just like I don't want Keenan Allen on my team. And not saying Keenan Allen wasn't amazing last year. Not saying Mixon wasn't amazing last year. I see Swift and I see Godwin and I say, let's move them for one player. I see Swift and Godwin and I say, can I trick someone into giving me a Walker? Can I trick someone out of a Jacobs? Can I trick someone out of a Worthy? Probably not anymore. Can I trick someone out of Worthy could have easily been had before kickoff. You could have got Worthy. Easiest trade you've ever made by throwing in Godwin for Worthy straight up, probably. And if not, Godwin and Swift for Worthy, that person would have accepted it. Now they'll laugh in your face. So you need to ask yourself, what player is still out there that has that kind of turnaround in your mind? And I say probably, maybe maybe McLaurin. Let me see what other wide receivers come to mind. I want to pull up the ADP rankings. Gone. Damn it, they're gone already. Let me go to my ADP rankings on my site because I have them, which is awesome because I just grabbed them not too long ago. So if you go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, you can see my ADP rankings. I also have year-round rankings on there on thefantasyfootballshow.com. But on
live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios, it's the
sorry, wrong button. wrong button. I'll just go to my rankings. Okay, here are the receivers that I think you can make. Godwin and Swift. Godwin and Swift for Dell. Godwin and Swift for Nico. Godwin and Swift for Rashee Rice and Worthy are off the table, but those were there. Pickens, maybe. Godwin and Swift for maybe Higgins. And then at that point, it's like Godwin and Swift for maybe running back. Maybe you're going toward I said Walker, Kamara, potentially. Godwin and Swift for Mostert if you can get your hands on Wright. Godwin and Swift, maybe you trade Godwin for Ford straight up. Maybe you trade Godwin and Swift or one of them for Chase Brown. Those are all players that feel a little bit like Worthy did walking into this week. And I think if you take advantage of it before that happens, obviously that's going to be beneficial for you. So thank you, David, for dropping the super chat. Appreciate you very much. Your team has potential, though, for sure. Devontae Smith, Higgins. I said go get Higgins. You had him. I was just reading off names. I see you have Mostert there. Maybe CMC for 2 players as well. CMC for an Achane or Kyron, right? You've already got Mostert. You don't see Wright. Where's Wright? Pick Wright up if he's available. So do I trade CMC for Achane and a wide receiver? Yes, it has to be a good wide receiver. You could even do a Diggs and a Swift for MHJ for London. I would love to upgrade Diggs if I'm you. Those are all little tiny moves I would make. Appreciate you, bro, for dropping your super chat, David. And then the last couple of super chats here. Fid, appreciate you. Who do you like for likely? Check my last super chat. Damn it, Finn. I'm going to have to go back to that, Finn. I'm sorry. I'm going to put it right here. Do you think Hollywood will hurt Worthy? No. I don't think so. I think they can all eat, man. I think they hurt Kelsey if they hurt anybody. Right on waivers, should I drop Mason, Bucky Irving, or Algier or Benson? I'm going to drop probably Bucky Irving. I just don't think he's going to take over the job. And even if he gets more work, it's a running back by committee. And even the OC in Tampa yesterday, after Bowles made his comment of it being a hot hand running back by committee in Tampa, between 2 running backs, right? You had the offensive coordinator say, we like all 3. So 12-team Hurts, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, Pacheco, Zamir, or Zach Moss, Higgins, Dell, Kincaid, bench, Bucky Irving, Dowdle, Worthy. God, that sucks. Worthy's on your bench, bro. What are you going to do? Brooks is a good trade piece. Maybe Dowdle or Brooks, one of those 2 or both, with a Higgins for a monster wide receiver upgrade to the tune of London, to the tune of even MHJ to me. I know some might like Higgins more than MHJ, and if that's the case, that's fine. But I'm giving up a Dowdle and Higgins for MHJ or a London all day long. Even a Debo I'd rather have. Cooper Kupp for sure. Go get one of those wide receivers and use all that bench depth. Jason from Cali, you're live. I'm going to have to keep it quick. I got to get off here, bro. I'm exhausted. This is a 3-hour show on top of the earlier show. So you have 30 seconds, pal. I'm sorry to do that to you. What can I do for you? I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I know you're putting in the work. You mentioned when I sent in a $5 super chat. Sorry, I've been trying to think about this and be ready for you. You want me to move White, and you said Wright, if he was available, scoop him. The HN owner has Wright in my league. So I just sent out a few trades, and I just wanted your thoughts on if these were good targets. So moving Rashad White, and then using like a Goddard or using like a Jacoby Myers, trying to get a Josh Jacobs, trying to get a Mike Evans, trying to get a Kenneth Walker, and moving Rashad White and one of those other pieces that are on my bench and getting that full-time starter.
Absolutely.
And then playing Mostert as my RB2 is what you were saying.
Absolutely. HN and Mostert with Wright would be fantastic. I don't know if you're able to get, or I'm sorry. Mostert and Wright having that duo would allow you to start, one. So you have to get both of them though. But my question would be, what can you add to White to get HN?
Well, I mean, I got Debo, I got A.J. Brown, I got Tank Dell, I got Xavier Worthy, I got two tight ends, I got Evan Ingram. I drafted my league a lot on, trying to get any top 10 guy I could. So that's why I grabbed Rashad White when it was like the 5th round. I know you got to keep it short.
Do we do phone line crew? I'll start with Travis. Do we do Worthy and Rashad White for HN? I think we got it, right?
Yeah, you have to, I think.
I do that. That's the one time where I'm going to use Worthy.
So send White and Worthy for HN?
Yeah.
Make sure you can cuff HN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to try. Does this guy have Wright?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to get Wright. Yeah, if you get that back, that's a home run.
Yeah, get both of them.
So HN and Wright for White and Worthy.
Yeah, and if you got to throw in something small too, like I don't know what you have that you can throw in, like a.
Did you throw in an Evan Ingram to sweeten the deal?
No, that's a big piece.
Since I got. Well, here's the thing. I got the number 1 waiver selection this week, and I already got Likely ready to rock.
Okay, well, you could use that leverage. I mean, would I throw Likely into this deal? I might to get it done because you could leverage that, but I don't think I give up Ingram. I think we're still liking Ingram over Likely, right? I mean, we can't get too carried away.
He finished number 2 last year.
Yeah, I know Ingram's a stud, so I don't know if I'm just throwing Ingram in. So I would definitely do this trade. Okay. I would leverage the pick. Maybe you could ask him to pick up somebody that you want if there is somebody. So you're swapping players. You know what I mean? Like you could say, I'll pick up Likely. You put him for this guy.
Likely won't. He won't clear in time though for the Sunday games. That's a problem.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check back with you guys tomorrow. I'll shoot that trade out. I already shot like 3 or 4 out. I know what you said. You're not going to get anything done if you don't make shots.
2 for 2 is fair.
Yeah, 2 for 2 is fair.
Yeah, got it.
All right, bro. And then Finn, I still got your message here, Finn. Finn says, "Who do I drop?" Check my last super chat.
All right, peace out.
All right, later,
Thank
bro.
you, Smitty.
Appreciate you. That was Jason. Ricky, hold on a second, Ricky. I know you've been waiting a long time. Let me just help Finn real quick. Finn, hold on a second, Finn. Finn wanted me to check his last Fid. I guess Fid. Sorry, Fid. Fid says, check my last super chat. Who to drop for Likely? Mooney, Edwards. We got one more subscriber, and we're at 26.9K. I probably of these guys, the only drop you have is Mooney or Luke McCaffrey. You could drop Luke McCaffrey, I guess. I don't know. We liking Mooney or Luke McCaffrey better? Rock out.
Mooney and who?
Luke McCaffrey or Mooney?
Probably McCaffrey right now. We're not sure about him.
Yeah, what do you think, Travis? One more subscriber. Yeah. What do you think, Luke McCaffrey or Mooney? Who you want to cut?
I'd rather hold on to McCaffrey just to see what he does, but just because Mooney's like the 4th option or whatever. Not to say I don't like Mooney. I think he's safe. A little more ceiling on McCaffrey, maybe.
26.9K.
Depends how much of a
swing you want to take.
Yeah, Fid. There's your answer.
Yeah.
I would drop Mooney. I think Luke McCaffrey they really want to use, and Adam Peters, he's such a crafty GM, and he's the guy that found Purdy. He's the guy that found Kittle. He's the guy that helped architect the offense that allows the Niners to roll the wide back out. And so you got to think that this guy's looking at Luke McCaffrey, who they've run as an RB. He's a receiver. He's doing everything. I'd take the chance on that. All right, go ahead, Ricky from Maryland. What's up, Rick? Risky Rogers. Why we call you Risky Rogers, bro? Why did we give you that nickname?
I was looking over at Chubb last year.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, what can I do for you, man? What's up, Risky?
So I'm wondering, what are you thinking about Worthy? What are you trading for Worthy right now?
What do I think about?
Do you think he's certified, or are you
Worthy? What do I think? What do I think about Worthy? Let me see. How can I put this into words? Oh, wrong one.
Xavier Worthy, your wide receiver from the combine. He can't catch. He has hands. Just fast.
Many say he won't make it at the next level.
Enough. Watch me. I must go back and make it right.
Xavier Worthy, he can't catch. Just fast.
He won't make it.
Catch this. Great catch. Wow, nice catch. He's not overrated catching the ball.
He can really catch.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
So, what do I think of Worthy? I think Worthy is a phenom. I think Worthy's going to explode and be worth... He's already worth a 4th-round pick right now. Like, if you were to go back into the draft, he'd be a 4th or 5th rounder. So, he's certified. Absolutely certified. But what are you trading for? I mean...
What would you get for him?
Huh?
What would you get for him?
Get for him. Kenneth Walker. Someone says no, then tell him to go kick rocks. He's got Worthy. She's trying to trade him. I would say Jacobs. I would say Debo. You know, and even then, it's like, bro, you don't know what you're trading. You could be trading a guy that does kind of tail off a little bit. You could be trading the number 6 wide receiver at season's end. We really don't know. It's a special offense, a special situation, and if you're going running back shopping, a Walker or Jacobs is not out of the question. And if someone wants him cheaper, then they need to go kick rocks. Because guess what? It's far more risky for you to try and sell before you know what's settled yet. The dust hasn't settled yet. And somebody's trying to take advantage of you if they're like, I don't know what he is. I'm not going to. Then why are you inquiring? I'd say, why do you want him? If you think he might not be worth Walker, why are you trying to jump in before the stock splits? So you sell for the world, or you don't sell at all.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker.
I couldn't have said it better. But I'm looking at my team, and I don't need any of that at the moment. I'm looking to trade for him.
Oh, trade for him. I thought you said the other way around. Okay, so what do you have then?
Oh, my apologies.
That's right. What do you have then?
I got Pat Mahomes, A-Chain, Jacobs, Tank Dell, D.D. Lamb, Evan Engram, and Calvin Ridley. Bench is looking like Trey Benson, Coleman, Ray Davis.
Yeah, I don't see a trade that makes sense, bro. To be honest with you, I mean, you're not going to trade. You're not going to trade Ridley for him. So trading Ridley for him isn't going to get it done. And I think your starters. I don't want to get rid of Jacobs. I don't want to get rid of any of the guys you listed off. So I don't think a trade makes sense. What, Travis?
I just don't have like the greatest bench.
Yeah, that's the problem. It makes trading for Worthy really hard. especially
I
on
don't
the,
want
Dell in his situation,
but I don't have it either.
especially on the rise. I don't even think Dell. I mean, you could trade Dell for him, but I don't know. I that's a tough one for me. As I
like
allu-
Tank
as
I
I
followed you last year and listened to you last year, and I liked Tank a lot.
yeah, but Worthy is this year's. Him and Coleman are kind of like the Dells of this year, you know. But I think that this is a question that I was asked earlier, and I struggle with it. Like Dell or Worthy, which one do I actually like better? I think I'd go back and forth. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know. I don't know that I'm trading Dell for Worthy. And I don't know that I'm trading Worthy for. I don't. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Plus, he's
Honestly,
on
I think a lot of people read into the Dell, the Nico Collins, like, yeah, he's going to be in the wide receiver sets.
Yeah. So I don't think
as
someone's
Stephon
trading.
Diggs.
I don't think someone's trading you for Worthy for Dell right now. Anyway, I'm just gonna say this is a team you don't own Worthy in, bro. And to be honest with you, it's too late to buy in. Like the value is so high, you need to wait for him to have like a bad week again or something if you want to get in on this. Like buying now, that's the worst time to buy. What are you gonna be buying something you don't know what it is? Everyone's gonna be selling it like it's the hottest thing in the world, and it feels like it is right now. So like, what are you gonna? You're a little late. Like you should have bought him ahead of time in this league. This is just not.
Well, this is grandma league. I think I could do some damage here.
Okay, well, Ridley and some bench players. I don't know, Ridley in the top waiver wire pickup. Maybe Likely's out there. You grab Likely, now you can trade Likely and Ridley for Worthy, like that, something like that. That's the only thing I got. Hey, got to run risky. Come to me when you have an actual proposal, and we'll break it down. Okay. Appreciate you. Let me go over to Rock Out. Final thoughts, pal. Oh, your song.
Yeah.
Your song. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. Rock Out dropped a new track. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the Rock Out. A mazel hog. What'd you say? Did you say mazel hog? What's this right?
Monster hog.
What'd you say? What's the mazel hog? What?
He's like a monster hog.
A monster hog. I got you. Rock Out. I like mazel hog. I don't know what that is, but it sounds scary. All right, Rock Out. Appreciate you, bro. Any final thoughts or final question?
Yeah. Would you drop a Cook or Algier for McCaffrey or McMillan?
Cooks for McMillan, Cooks for McCaffrey. This is a tough one because Cooks ain't no mazel hog, but he certainly, can kind of sneak up on you and score a touchdown once in a while. So it's kind of like a bias, take to say like get rid of Cooks. I don't know. That one I'm always a little bit wrong. Yeah, I'm always a little wrong on Cooks. I guess I would. I mean, McMillan's a rookie and he's not in the role yet, and an LMC is still not in the role yet either, but he could be. Cooks is the guy that's probably going to benefit. I'd say keep Cooks for now. Maybe he scores and you can trade him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Advertise him as a mazel hog, and someone be like, what's that?
No,
like you don't know, you don't know what a
not like.
Yeah, Worthy's a mazel hog.
Yeah.
I don't know what if mazel hog means something. I don't know what it means, so I'm sorry if I'm saying it. It sounds like it's something scary or something wrong. A mazel hog.
I mean, it sounds like it's from some European country.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you later, Rock Out.
Appreciate it.
Rock Out's greatest hits. That's what the album should be called, Mazel Hog. I like it. Unless it means something bad. Travis, final thoughts.
Yeah, just for anyone who has a spot open, keep an eye on Fields, because Tomlin said at like 6:30 tonight, it came out that Russell Wilson's status is firmly up in the air because his calf is acting up again.
Yep, Fields.
So
Fields,
keep an eye on Fields because he's not. I don't think he's very high ownership, right? So,
yeah, he's not. Fields is
7%.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know how many times I could pull this preemptive week 1 waiver wire list up. Likely the top preemptive before week 1 kicks off. Fields, the top guy before week 1 kicks off. This hasn't been touched. This is the pre-week 1 waiver wire video. It's up so you can watch it if you want. Jalen Wright, Ford, Chase Brown, Braylon Allen, Ray Davis. Like, what are we doing here? AD Mitchell's going to have a poor man's version of what Xavier Worthy just did, I think, in week 1. So Fields shouldn't be out there. If you need a quarterback, there's no excuse, come week 1. Hey, Smitty, who do I pick? Who do I drop for Field? Or how much fab do I put on Field, Smitty? Like, I don't want to hear it. If you've got an opportunity to go get him and it makes sense, I'm not saying drop your starter and bank on Fields when you don't know if he's starting yet, but this is a potential league winner. He's a potential mazel hog, if I've ever seen one.
Right. He averages over 20 points a start.
Sure does. All right, Travis, appreciate you, bro. This is a 3.5-hour show in the books. All right, see you later, bro.
Yeah, good one. Bye.
Oh, yeah, I'm tired. All right, we're out of here. Last super chat is from Not So Silent. Worthy looked great, but Hollywood is back week 2. Clearly, you don't own Worthy and you own Hollywood. And come on, how are you going to damper on that? How are you going to try and put a damper on it? Let's just calm down about Xavier Worthy. Hollywood's coming back. Like he is, and Hollywood's going to have a lot to eat, for sure. I like Hollywood. Hollywood's great. Worthy looked great. Let's see. Week 2, 3, and that matters. The real story is Justice Hill. No justice, no peace. Yep, no doubt about it. At least not for Henry owners, of course. And this is why Henry was a big, risky panic chamber person. Talked about it in the offseason over and over and over. Especially that offensive line. There's plenty of times we went live and said this is one of the worst offensive lines in the league. They used to be one of the best, but they lost all their players. And Henry might not be a mazel hog in 2024 is what we said. All right, appreciate you, Not So Silent. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you all for the super chats tonight. You guys absolutely rock. I appreciate every single one of you. And thank you to my mods, Sick Nasty, Space Ricky, Blackbeard, Travis Rowe, Vampy if he's watching right now, and also of course Terry Roberts if he's out there. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all later. Thank you very much.
There are handfuls of Saturn, Mars, and Moon men, but only 8 can be supernovas. I give you the 8 best picks in fantasy football.
They are the 8 supernovas. They are the 8 supernovas. The hateful 8 supernovas. I'm looking at the 8 supernovas. The magnificent 8.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Shuttle has cleared the tower, and guys, just so you know that the Patreon is absolutely amazing. Patreon, I do live audio streams exclusively inside Patreon, probably multiple, maybe one per day I could see, but definitely multiple during Sunday games, during Monday games, during Thursday games, where I jump in at halftime or I jump in when a touchdown happens and I'm like, good God, you guys see that? And I just go live inside Patreon. And so if you're in the Patreon app or if it's closed and you're just sitting there with your phone, you'll get an alert. Smitty's live on audio on Patreon, and it's kind of like Twitter Spaces. And you guys get in there and you can chat while I'm live, and you can ask me questions, and I just go through a quick Q&A. And we're gonna do some of that with like the start bench stuff, you know, like especially the afternoon games. The morning games I'll be live on the YouTube channel, but like the afternoon set of games, I could imagine myself getting in the Patreon and doing like an afternoon start bench type of Q&A. And so the Patreon is the link is pinned in the live chat. It's $10 a month. It cancel anytime. And so the 10 chats inside like the live game day chat, you can see that last one there. It says game day, lounge, and start bench. I go in there and I hit live, and it just pops up. Hey, listen to Smitty. You click it, and then the chat's there, and you guys all just chat. Hey, Smitty, who do I start? And I'm just sitting there reading it and chatting. And so it's a really amazing experience. And just to have 10 live chats going on, best ball, general chat, rookies, Superflex, the game day lounge chat, having 10 live chat rooms to go in all day long, 365, it's an extension of this exact live stream community. The faces you see in here, you see over there, Superfish, you see Travis, you see the mods, you see everybody. Everybody you come to know and love, it's a diehard in here, is over on the Patreon, just chatting away. So appreciate you all. See you all later. Join the Patreon. Link is in the live chat. It's patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow, but you just hit the link that's pinned in the live chat or in the description of the video. See you all later. Mazel hog season. Deuces.